West Ham were slightly resurgent, I'd expect them to beat Tottenham, who are tepid at this moment in time. So in all of that, you have to get some context, but there are great results in there. If you beat Arsenal and you beat Man City, my thought process was, yeah, United go and get turned over at Fulham, but they didn't.
Well, hello there. Good afternoon. How are you? Welcome along to talkSPORT. It's H&J with Aherne and Brooker today. Probably for one time only, because we're already on the verge of being cancelled. Before we go any further, let's get your sports news with Ben Fletcher.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. Arne Slot's getting a bit of a leathering today for airing his views on corners. The Liverpool manager's football heart isn't a fan, despite his side's recent success from them. Well, talkSPORT's Simon Jordan admits he's not been particularly enamoured by Slot lately.
This season I'm not. Last year I thought, well done you. You came in, you had a very difficult challenge, and you were following somebody that had built up legendary status, had such a connection with Liverpool fans, and in you come, and it's going to be difficult for you. What he was very fortunate with is that other teams dropped off a little bit, and he inherited a very good squad and won the league. Now, we didn't hear any of this last year.
Liverpool go to bottom side Wolves tonight, while second bottom Burnley travel to Everton. Scott Parker's not a happy bunny either, still smarting after that disallowed goal against Brentford.
For every goal that you score, you celebrate, and then it gets pulled back. For every fan that cheers and then gets pulled back, there's a scar that's left, which is disappointment, and so that's the main reason.
The Burnley boss says the length of time taken to reach decisions adds to that pain. Wayne Rooney's told talkSPORT Ollie Watkins has to go to the World Cup as Harry Kane's backup. Watkins has only scored twice in this calendar year, but Rooney would still take him over Calvert-Lewin and Welbeck. With 100 days to go till the World Cup, check out our How to Win the World Cup podcast in all the usual places. Now, one of the goal scorers in England women's first ever match has died at the age of 72. Linda Hale, just 18 at the time, made history back in 1972 when England played Scotland. The Lionesses will wear black armbands for tonight's World Cup qualifier against Ukraine in memory of England's first number 7. And with a week to go till the Cheltenham Festival, Marine Nationale won't defend the Queen Mother Champion Chase. That's because of a neck problem. A reminder you can hear every race across the talkSPORT network next week.
talkSPORT News.
The Chancellor said her economic plan is even more important in a world that's become more uncertain, and a chartered flight for British nationals is to leave Oman this week. There's more from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With expert technicians in all our centres across the country, we'll keep your car's inbuilt safety tech in top condition this winter. Book today at quickfit.com.
Sunny spells for most of us this afternoon, the odd spots of drizzle in the south.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
And good morning to you. How are you this afternoon? Good morning to you this afternoon. I Alex Brooker.
Hello.
This is new.
Yeah, it is.
How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. We got off to a great start today, didn't we?
Really good start, everyone. So, Alex came in and said, nice to meet you. I've met him 4 times.
that wasn't here, though, was it? It was when
a past life
in a different job. Yeah, sorry about that. That was a really awkward start.
So you don't remember me 10 years ago offering you coffee in the green room at Good Morning Britain.
It was early, though, wasn't it?
That's
an early start.
In fairness, it's dead early.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm an early bird. I just said good morning at 1 o'clock. Welcome along. It's Shebahn and Alex in for H&J today. Coming up, we're building up to the Premier League tonight. Going around the grounds with Adrian Durham. All the updates and the games for talkSPORT. We're going to speak to Adrian actually very soon. He's going to be with us here. Liverpool go to Molineux tonight. We'll catch up with former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant, looking ahead to that and the other games and his thoughts on Irrational and set pieces killing the joy of football. We're also going to have Dave Allen, heavyweight boxer, coming in to see us in the studio, looking ahead to his next fight with Zidane. We think we know something about Dave Allen, which is pretty weird.
Yeah.
But he's 6'6". If it all goes wrong, what if he wants to batter you?
Well, I'm not the one who's going to bring this up with him.
Up tonight. And of course, we're 100 days away from the World Cup in the USA, Mexico and Canada. Football aside, though, who's better, England or Scotland?
That's the big debate, isn't it?
Really is. A nice, mature discussion on that coming up for you today here on Hawksby and Jacobs with Aherne Brooker. Good afternoon, it's talkSPORT. Yeah, so going back to like a long time ago, I used to be the runner in the green room at GMB in Lorraine.
Yeah, I remember. We met like for
yeah, you do. And it was funny because it's so early in the morning, so you get the real side of people.
Yeah.
So I've seen the real side of you, Alex.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, I'm just
you are lovely.
Early.
You were always lovely.
They were early starts.
Yeah.
That you just after coffee and just remembering whatever you're on there to plug.
Yeah.
What am I on there to plug?
And I had the job of making the coffee.
Yeah.
So if you were nice, I would give you an extra nice coffee.
Oh. Yeah. And I remember the coffees; they were great. So thank you.
Full of nonsense. Looking forward to the football tonight.
I am very much so. I've been obviously. I was at Arsenal on Sunday, Arsenal Chelsea, and interested with Fabian Hürzeler ahead of tomorrow night's game against us, saying about how long we take on the set pieces. It's quite very. Obviously, I know they're playing us tomorrow, so he would be asked about Arsenal and how long they take and things like that. But it's I don't know. I think sometimes we do take. Certainly on the throw-ins, it annoys me. They were just showing on Sky Sports News now. The one example they've used is from Wolves away the other week when Eze was trying to talk to Rice and he just couldn't hear him. And us as fans, we were doing our nut, and that's kind of the example that they're using as Arsenal for Arsenal taking ages. And objectively, that one did take ages, and we were rubbish.
To be fair, you're set piece FC, so you've got to milk every moment leading up to them.
Yeah, well, we get excited about it. We kind of keep there's anticipation also. I think with Arsenal, with the way they're going about it at the moment, there's so much going on in the box. Half the time the referees are there's so many players now getting hold of each other. Sometimes the delays are just the referees trying to sort it out and pull people apart and stuff like that. Yeah, that's me slightly defending us.
Okay, fine. Looking forward to that tomorrow. Are you still confident you'll win the league?
I think it's a big game tomorrow night. I would never come out and say I think we're going to win it, but it's another. Every game at the moment feels massive for us.
Away from the football, Dave Allen's going to come in and see us in the studio today. He's got a fight with Zidane coming up soon, so we'll hear from him on that. He's got one of his boxers coming in with him as well. But there's this rumour going around the office that he's got a fear of tomatoes.
Well, it's changed in the last half hour because 1 minute was fear, then it's a hatred.
Then he didn't like them.
Yeah, so you're going, well, I mean, they're very different things.
Are you scared or do you not like them, Dave?
But we're going to find out, and you're going to be the one that's really going to push him on. I don't know which one's better. Like a fear.
You can't have a fear of tomatoes because you're 6'6". So if you're 6'6" and you're scared of a tomato, then you'll get smashed in your next fight.
It'd be an interesting. It would be. No, I've never heard of that one before.
No. Have you got any irrational fears though?
I was scared of clowns for a little while, quite a long time. But that's because my mum let us watch the film It when we were about 10. It's probably not great parenting. I don't mind, I don't mind calling her out on national radio.
Yeah, that's
letting
not
people
great.
know. No, it weren't great.
That's
it weren't
not
great. That clowns, I didn't like for ages. I'm not too bad about them now. I've got my own kids, but I wouldn't want one in my house.
Why are clowns so creepy?
It's just this. I mean, come on. There's so many reasons. The hair, the makeup, everything.
If it's meant to be exciting.
I find the big gloves they wear triggering for someone with small hands. The big shoes they wear for someone with 1 foot, I find them triggering as well. It's probably why. Just everything about them, actually. The show-offs.
Fair enough. Tomatoes, clowns, that's pretty normal. Do you know, once I had the kids, I found myself anytime I was driving over a bridge, like clamming up, terrified. So now...
What, of like crashing or something?
Or like driving off it? I know it's a bit...
Yeah, no, it's all right, though. This is the sort of chat you used to have with me in Good Morning Britain, wouldn't you? You come in at like half 6 in the morning going, I tell you what, have you ever thought...
Dressed as a clown? Morning!
You ever been scared of driving off a bridge, Alex? No, it was I used to have that when I was little, like the the QE2 bridge in Dartford going into Kent.
The Dartford crossing
that was the
horrific.
When I was a kid, I used to be frightened of that.
Yeah,
but no, I'm an adult and I've grown up and I'm not.
Yeah, well done, good for you. But still scared of clowns, aren't you?
We've got such a great start.
Really good start. EFL action coming up for you tonight, by the way, over on talkSPORT 2. Ipswich take on Hull, so we're going to hear from the man who knows everything about the EFL. Ian Danter is going to be with us on the show. Big news about Soccerade.
Yes.
You're playing in it?
Yes, I am.
Is it true you're actually a bit of a good player?
No. This is another rumour. Is this another rumour like the tomatoes thing? No, I mean, do you know what? I'm just genuinely, and people will know from if they've ever seen me do it, I'm very much one of the people that's just happy to be there. Right. I'm like the ultimate. I'm the ultimate competition winner. In that, I come on. I kind of knock about for about 10 minutes, and I love and live every single second of it. I can't believe I think this is going to be my 5th.
Do you know all the names who are going?
Yes, there's some incredible people. Tom Hiddleston's back with England again. We've got Wayne Rooney's back with us again. We've got Toni Duggan who's coming on. Joe Marler is playing in goal. I can't wait to see what Joe Marler's like. I mean, he's a big unit. Yeah. So
Did you see that clip with him recently talking to Pete Wicks about his age?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he did. You thought he was older, didn't I?
I thought Joe was in his 40s as well. Same age as me.
So much.
Out of order. Best clip ever. You're listening to Hawksby and Jacobs here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and Alex Brooker. We've got lots on the way, building up to all the football tonight, of course, keeping you posted here on talkSPORT and everything else to come. We're here in partnership with Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station.
Your record at home is so bad.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem you've got with Spurs is there's a real toxic feeling throughout the football club. When you look at the top in terms of the ownership and the changing of some of the hierarchy there, Daniel Levy moving on, nothing has really changed, Ray. You know, the reality is with Tottenham that they talk like they want to be a big club, but they don't act like a big club. They don't want to pay the big club wages in general. Look, they've made a bit of a shift in terms of Conor Gallagher, for example. But, you know, you look at that January transfer window, that absolutely has killed us by not improving and investing into the squad. You know, we knew going into that window we were absolutely decimated by injuries, but the board chose not to give Thomas Frank any kind of opportunity to really fight and try and see if there's a way out of his current predicament when he was struggling. And Tudor's come into a battle where, quite honestly, at the moment, I'm really, really unsure whether we've made the right decision. But at the time, he was a firefighter, but I think he's walked into Tottenham, and you've heard in there in the press conferences, I think he doesn't realise until he's got in there the actual mess the club are in. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if another couple of defeats, they may look to change him, because I'm worried that in his first 2 games, he's gone in on the players and absolutely buried them.
Has, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they probably deserve being buried, but how is that productive in terms of trying to get results out of this group? I don't know, when you're already decimated by injuries and you've got 12 to 13 players fit to work with.
It's a little bit harsh having a go at him straight away when he's only been in having 2 games, Ricky, but I can understand it, because for me it was a kind of strange appointment. I'm still a little bit concerned that some of the...
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How do you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good afternoon. You're listening to talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne Alex Brooker with you in for H&J this afternoon. Coming up for you tonight in the Premier League, Bournemouth take on Brentford. Everton, Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland, Wolves face Liverpool. That's 8:15 tonight. Lots to get stuck into tonight, Alex.
I'm looking forward to seeing Wolves Liverpool, because Wolves have had a little bit. They got that result against us, and then they won again the other day. So they're kind of having a little bit of a resurgence, isn't they?
Yeah, it's like
and for Liverpool, so I think they've got to get top form, because obviously Chelsea lost at the weekend. I think it's a good chance for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They're playing very, very good football. Our Wolves certainly better. That's the story since Rob Edwards went into the club. And like you say, nicking points against top clubs as well. Somebody who used to play for their opposition tonight, former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant, is with us now on talkSPORT. Jermaine, I bumped into you earlier on downstairs. Do you want to tell us about your nightmare today, please?
So basically, I came in the studio today to do a show called Inside Liverpool. I was adamant it was today, even though I spoke to the producer on Monday of when it was.
Yes,
I just thought it was today. So I came all the way in, had my makeup done, sat down, and then even spoke to you, go, yeah, I'm doing a show later. And I looked at my phone and it said Wednesday. So I was like, okay, stop your makeup now, I'm going to go home. So yeah, basically I went all the way to London Bridge for a coffee and then came home.
Coffee and a makeover. You look great, Jermaine.
You do. You look
oh, thank you.
So glam. It's the worst though when that happens. And actually it was weird because downstairs it had all started to empty out. Nobody was there. And then he walks in. Oh, big time Charlie. What are you here for, Jermaine?
Yeah. Shebahn, it's not the first, it's not going to be the last, unfortunately.
Yeah, listen, you're only human. Don't worry, you've got tonight to look ahead to against Wolves away at Molineux. Jermaine, how are you feeling about this one?
Look, after that performance they put in against Aston Villa, I'm a little bit sceptical. You know, you look at this fixture previously and you thought, okay, yeah, Wolves, you know, they've only won, well, for Wolves, one game at home. So I was thinking, yeah, comfortable. But no, I think it's going to be a tough little test with this little resurgence that Rob Edwards has got the boys going on. You know, good result against Arsenal and then beating Aston Villa. That's two teams in the top four. So, yeah, I'm expecting Liverpool to win, but I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park, as most would have thought a month ago.
I mean, Liverpool, you know, after the defeat to City, they've gone and won, I think, 4 on the bounce now. So Liverpool, you know, I mean, with Chelsea losing at the weekend to Arsenal, kind of, you know, they want to get into those Champions League places and kind of ideally pull ahead. So it's a big game for them again tonight, isn't it?
Oh, it's a huge game. If they can win this game, it's 6 points adrift from Chelsea. And I think fifth place would be a Champions League spot, you know, showing how well the English clubs are doing in the Champions League. So 4th, 5th is definitely the aim. And this game is huge because if you've got that much of a gap with not many games left, it puts a lot of pressure on Chelsea. They're a little bit inconsistent at the minute. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. And I think, yeah, this game is going to be huge for them.
Yeah, it was a brilliant result, though, against West Ham last time out for Liverpool, and the way that Arne set them up as well, even having Joe Gomez in at right back. It was like he played the proper team.
Yeah, it's nice to see him putting players in their proper position instead of taking out one of the best players this season for Liverpool in Dominic Szoboszlai and putting him right back.
Yeah,
where ultimately we're losing a lot in the midfield. So Joe Gomez is an out-and-out defender. He can play centre-back. He can either play right-back as well. So it's finally nice to see him put in a player in their position. And also with Jeremy Frimpong coming back, I think that has helped him, Liverpool as well, massively. He came on and got an assist as well. So I'm interested to see what kind of setup he does go with, if he plays Gomez or he plays Frimpong there.
And also, there's been a lot of talk about set pieces, especially this week. And Arne Slot said yesterday he doesn't really like them and things like that. But obviously, Liverpool have been the best at them since the turn of the year. I think they scored like 9 goals. They scored one more than Arsenal or something like that. So, I mean, where do you stand on the set pieces? Because to me, obviously, it's just something that ideally you should be good at.
Look, I was in a team that we thrived off set pieces. And Tony Pulis and Stoke City. You know, we had the players like Ryan Shawcross, Robert Hoof, Ken Wynne-Jones, Peter Crouch. And all my job was to whip that ball in that box for them big guys, whether it's a free kick, whether it's set pieces. And we worked on that. I understand what he's saying. And I think he needs to understand how the English media works, especially in press conferences. You know, and they will nitpick something and use it as a headline. I don't think he's got to grasp with that yet. You know, he says things that probably we're all thinking and we all agree with, but don't come out and say it. Within, you know, the style of football right now is probably not as good as the last decade or so. But it's part and parcel of the game now. Teams are finding ways to use something at their advantage. And unfortunately, Arsenal are finding that way. But is it exciting on the eye? Probably not.
Yeah, so what's the problem? Like, why is he been hammered for saying something that everybody's thinking?
It's just the way the media works, Shebahn. Sometimes you gotta just, you know, keep it down a little bit, because if you say that one thing, it can make headlines. And I think he will start getting used to that now when he starts seeing himself in the headlines week in, week out for some of his comments he says. But just the way it is.
I just don't get that.
I've got to say, I think set pieces are great. Love them. Take as much time as you need.
Yeah, that's one way to win the league. Do you know what? I think what Arne said is exactly what we're all thinking. And you're right, it's the stick they'll use to probably beat him with, especially this season. But he did go on to say it's always interesting and competitive. That's what makes this league great. But he doesn't accept his football heart taking that, you know, set pieces are going to make football a joy to watch. You know, it's kind of true. Talk to me about Mo Salah. Where do you stand with him then this season, Jermaine? Because he's really kind of splitting the fan base.
Yeah, what Mo Salah has done since he's been at Liverpool is nothing close to a phenomenon. It's absolutely outrageous, and his stats and numbers and goals are being off the charts, especially for a wide player. And as soon as you start dipping underneath those kind of stats, you start questioning his ability. And yeah, it's been a big drop-off. But let's put in perspective that this drop-off is probably on par with most wide players in the league right now, whether we're talking about Saka, whether we're talking about Palmer and Wemo. You know, the stats are there and thereabouts. But because what he's done throughout his time at Liverpool, these numbers now, we're all questioning. And look, every player at some point starts to decline. Doesn't matter, you know, with age, and it's just part and parcel of it. But because he's been so good and the numbers are so adrift right now, we're just questioning if he's still got it in the tank.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he does?
He's still got a part to play, but this drop off is huge. It's very big, and not only the goals, but you see his actual performances as well. There's not a lot coming from him at the moment. And like I said, I don't know if he's lost a little bit of a yard, but we all do. You know, that's the first thing kind of goes, that pace, as you get older. So, yes, but he's still a hero in my eyes.
To many as well. Jermaine Pennant, thank you so much. Enjoy
Cheers, guys.
the game tonight. Remember, it's Tuesday, okay? Yes, something else, aren't you, Jermaine Pennant? I love that. Rocking up on the wrong day. Jermaine Pennant there, don't forget, Wolves-Liverpool, 8:15 tonight. All the updates for you on Game Day Live here on talkSPORT. Jermaine, you should try and get him at Soccer Aid.
Oh, it'd be great.
He's still a player, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Still got it.
When we did the talkSPORT trophy, was that 2 summers ago?
Yeah.
Jermaine was lightning. He was so good.
I always think when you watch like the ex-pros, just how quick their minds work, it still blows my mind.
Like, with no disrespect, even Gabby. Like, Gabby's still got it.
No disrespect, but even Gabby.
Even Gab's like... he was still brilliant, but Jermaine was exceptionally good that day. Get him into Soccer Aid. Speaking of which, more on that coming up very, very soon. We're building up to the Premier League tonight, a number of games to look ahead to, and talkSPORT 2 for EFL action as well. We'll look ahead to that a little bit later on, but more on Soccer Aid coming up next on talkSPORT.
Time, a lot of respect for you, as much as I've got a lot of respect for Emmanuel Petit. But for you to say it's either you've got your ears shut and your eyes shut, not to know that. I'll give you a perfect example. A lot of the fans have not explained it properly. Emmanuel Petit is bang on right, and so is Martin Keown. But Petit's probably not explained it right to use. But if you look at it right, even going back as far as Adrian Durham, when Arsenal, under Arsene Wenger, who was one of the greatest managers ever, who, I said this to you before, Simon, who had his arms tied behind his back at some stages, had to sell our best
Your own
players.
fans ate your manager at the end.
No. Simon, this is where you get it all wrong, mate.
Oh,
right?
oh they didn't then.
No, I'll tell you why you get it wrong. Arsenal are the biggest supported club in London, right?
Yep.
Behind Manchester United and Liverpool, they're one of the biggest supported clubs around the world. Man United and Liverpool have got the most, then it's Arsenal. It's a known fact.
Yep.
Social media and Arsenal fans on social media is what's caused all this poison. And you said it, Simon, right? You just said it earlier.
Yeah.
You said there ain't a thing against Arsenal, but the first thing you said was, they think they've got to give them right, and they think this. No, Simon, we don't think we've got to give them right, because I've been going Arsenal 37 years. I've seen us win 5 league titles, right? I'm a good fan. I've been there through the thick and thin, yeah? When Arsenal was doing poor, towards the end of Wenger's reign. How comes there?
It's one of the most infamous moments in World Cup history. Zidane's headbutt on Marco Materazzi in the 2006 final sent shockwaves through the footballing world. It wasn't a particularly ill-tempered final. Argentinian ref Horacio Elizondo had only shown 3 yellow cards until this point in extra time. Zidane and Materazzi had been the main protagonists of the match so far. Materazzi committed the foul for the penalty, which Zidane scored after 7 minutes. Then 12 minutes later, Materazzi equalised from a corner. Materazzi said in the 2020 interview he was asked at half-time to man-mark Zidane. So they'd been literally rubbing each other up the wrong way for more than an hour before the tension boiled over in extra time. Some reports suggested Materazzi had insulted Zidane's mother, but he successfully refuted that in a libel case 2 years later. According to the Italian, Zidane started it with a little insult, saying, "I'll give you my shirt later." Then he responded by saying, "I'd rather have your sister than your shirt." And Zidane switched. In 2022, he said, "I'm not at all proud of what I did, but it's part of my past." But would he apologise? To his teammates and fans, yes. But to Materazzi? I'd rather die.
Non, je ne regrette rien.
Good afternoon. How are you today? You're listening to Aherne Brooker in for Hawksby and Jacobs here on talkSPORT. This weather certainly lifting the mood, isn't it?
Been pleasant.
You don't want to get too ahead of yourself, too excited, but it's pleasant.
Yeah, I like being cold.
Oh, no.
I know. I knew. I said that knowing exactly how you'd react. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just a little weirdo.
Yeah, we were thinking it.
Yeah.
You said it.
Went to Lapland with the kids. It was like -11, and I was like, "This is my ideal. This is my sort of temperature."
No.
I know, it's so weird, isn't it?
So when it starts to get hot now, that's it. You're toast.
I don't like. I'll get too warm. Not having it, mate.
All right, fair enough. Do you know what I did the other day? Cryotherapy. Have you done this?
No.
Where you go into the chamber and it goes to -150.
Wow.
It's like your idea of a holiday.
Yeah, it is. What's it meant to do? Is it meant to...
It's for like muscle repair therapy. I'm training for the marathon.
Yeah.
So I went to see my friend out in Luton. She's got the cryotherapy chamber and then the leg compression. And she said, because it's your first time, you go in for 3 minutes and they drop it down to usually -180. But we'll do you at -150. That's so sweet, thanks. And I swear I couldn't breathe for 10 seconds. It got too cold to the point where I was like, is she trying to kill me? God, like it really takes your breath away. And then it targets, you feel the cold target in those areas that are most inflamed.
You ever had like the ice boot on? They're like little machines. It's like a blood pressure machine.
Okay.
It just pumps ice cold water and it compresses over you.
No.
They always have them at Soccer. They're unreal.
Oh, that sounds nice.
They do, yeah. They're so good. I have one on the fake leg.
I had a half marathon yesterday, and you know that way every part of your body aches, like the knees, and then it's the hips, and then the hips not so, and you think I've got over that pain, and then your toe starts hurting, and your toenail falls off.
I mean, I'm not the right person to. I mean, yes.
Take it all
it's
back.
all relative. It's all relative, mate.
I'm taking these things for granted. You're right. Right, let's look ahead to Soccer Aid now. For UNICEF, it returns this summer, celebrating 20 incredible years as England take on the world in the biggest charity football match.
it's such a great occasion to be involved in, and it's always great when it comes round.
And Wayne Rooney puts the ball in at the Stretford end again.
What Soccer Aid does for children and to help UNICEF, it was a no-brainer.
This is about raising money for UNICEF and creating safe space for kids.
It's like being in a really mad, fun fever dream. You sort of go, pinch me.
There's a family day out. Oh, it's amazing.
It's Toni Duggan!
When the call-up came, I was delighted. There's anything in my diary, it's getting cleared because this comes first.
I think it's really important that there are enough goals for the supporters to cheer on.
Scoring the winning goal in front of that many people, it's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Big Zoo trying to go for it. Oh, Big Zoo!
If you're free, 31st of May, you can still get tickets. £20 adults, £10 children. Head to the Soccer Aid website.
Oh, brilliant. Looking forward to this already. Sunday the 31st of May at the London Stadium. Very pleased to say we'll be there. talkSPORT will be there. Yeah. You're going to be there.
I'm going to be there. I cannot wait. I love it. Honestly, it is just the best thing I've ever done. Being a part of it is unreal.
Yeah, best family atmosphere as well.
It's so
Everybody's
good.
up for it. But you do get the odd rogue challenge, don't you? You're like, whoa, it's charity. Calm down, Ben Shepherd.
There was one a couple of years ago where I went and I thought I was probably, the ball was like 80% in my favour to win, and Nanny literally dinked it over me and jumped in one movement. And I went in, I slid in with the prosthetic as well. And honestly, I saw him go over my head as I slid along the ground. And I was like, if I'd have caught him there, that wouldn't have been. I'd have definitely got a
Done him. Yeah, coming up 31st of May, you've got Wayne Rooney, Edwin van der Sar, Robbie Williams.
Going to be that. I mean, they've got some great the World 11. I love like the players that we have, but they've got Jordi Alba.
Yeah.
He's only just finished.
Yeah.
He's going to be unbelievable.
Also GK Barry in there as well, which is funny because her girlfriend Ella plays football for Portsmouth. Ella Rutherford, so I'm wondering if she'll be any good at football this time round, GK Barry. We've got exclusive radio commentary from the bid match at the London Stadium. Every kick, every goal and every bit of drama live for you on talkSPORT, as we say. Tickets for the game are on sale now via socceraid.org.uk/tickets. And pleased to say, joining us now, England ledge herself, Toni Duggan is with us. She's going to be in it. Toni, how are you?
Hi Shebahn, hi Al.
Hi Toni.
You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Good, yeah, good. Buzzing to be back. All starts again now. Obviously I played my first time last year and it was an amazing event. But yeah, buzzing to be back again this year. Good to see you back on the team sheet, Al.
Yeah, you're just being kind.
No, you were brilliant last year.
Oh, mate, I loved it so much. When you scored that goal in soccer, and obviously you've scored a lot of big goals in your career, but like, how does it compare? Because it's an amazing event, isn't it?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, actually, initially I thought it was offside, so I didn't celebrate too much. But then, yeah, when I realised, I was like, I mean, you got Van der Sar in goal, Michael Carrick assisting. Yeah, I mean, Wayne Rooney playing alongside you, it was just something that I would never have dreamt of. So yeah, and obviously it was at Old Trafford. So yeah, it was just so special. But even in the days before it, you're just looking around thinking like, is this real? You know, the people that you're sitting having dinner with, obviously Al, you've been numerous times now, but for me, I was like, is this really happening?
Yeah, I remember the first year, second year. I remember Tom Hiddleston just asking me if he was going to the canteen. He's like, do you want a coffee? And I was like, no. So I remember Tom Hiddleston offering me coffee.
Not me. Yeah. Do you know what? That makes sense. I remember.
But it was like, it's just like, what is? You do think it. You go, what is going on?
Yeah.
It is just so unique, and it's for such a great cause, isn't it, Toni?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it resonates with me a lot more now. I've got my little girl Llewellyn, and obviously it can change and impact the lives of kids around the world. And I think they've raised over 120 million up to now. Obviously it's the 20th year this year, and I just think it's a fantastic cause. I mean, obviously it's great that we go along and we have so much fun, and all the fans that come along have a great day. But the whole reason behind it is to raise the money and, you know, change kids' lives around the world. So it makes me very proud to be part of it.
Good for you. How is little Llewellyn doing, Toni?
Yeah, she's good. A little rascal, gets harder.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone speaks about when they become a mum, you know, the newborn phase, but this toddler phase, the tantrums, chasing her everywhere. She thinks she's about 21 already, so yeah, it'll be a couple of days free from her. I'll be on a break now.
You do, you need it. But going back then to Soccer Aid as well, like I look at all these names on the list, the conversations that must happen behind the scenes. I mean, does everybody just mingle with each other quite the thing? Or does anybody form a little clique? Is anybody surrounded by bodyguards? What are they like?
No, I think all the egos are just left at the front door. It's just amazing. I was turning up and I'm quite outgoing and sociable. But 10 minutes before I got there, I was like looking at the list thinking, oh my God, how am I going to fit in? What do I do? Like, this is a bit overwhelming. But honestly, after the first hour, set straight in. And we had a little clique, to be fair. We had a good little group of us. There was me, Jermaine Defoe, Tom Grennan and James Nelson-Joyce and Aaron Lennon. And yeah, we had a little, and then we were trying to arrange after a little night out in Manchester. We just got on so well. I think them days, like, you just share so much with each other, and yeah, you make so many mates and have such a good time behind the scenes. Alex will tell you about the other stuff, Shebahn, when we're off here.
It is good fun. But I tell you what though, what surprised me is the training is it's intense, isn't it? Like people, they're not like holding back in those little games that we play.
You can talk, Alex. I was petrified. You kept going over to the other side. He doesn't hold back.
Well, he was telling us, yeah.
No, but it's true. Like, you think, is it going to be like, are people going to be being really serious, or is it going to be a bit of fun? But honestly, like, when you get to that game day, like, everyone just switches and goes into full focus mode. And I think, we're still reeling at the fact that we lost last year. I think Tevez was a bit of a cheat code, wasn't he? But he's not coming this year, thankfully, so hopefully Team England can get the win.
Do you know what I always love? One of my favourite bits about watching Soccer Aid is when the camera goes into the dressing room. Yeah. Do you feel the pressure then, Alex, when you're next to, athletes?
I felt the pressure last year because I think somebody swore twice in the dressing room. We were live on TV. It's a big family event. It was. It's what I love most about it is not only the cause, just it is like a big family, and everyone is like. I was really nervous when I first went. Tony, a bit like you, but like I was like, with me, I was like, are people going to kind of think, well, what's he going to bring to the table, like playing wise, because I can't do as much as everyone else. And actually, that was just in my head. And everyone was so lovely to me, and they're so welcoming, and no one cares. No one cares, and it's just I love it so much. It's unlike anything else I've ever done, and yeah, you live in the dream. Obviously, I know for you, Tony, it's a bit different having played as well, but it is like a dream come true.
No, but even still, like obviously I hadn't played for the year prior to that, but walking out at Old Trafford, you still get the butterflies, you still get the nerves, but it just brings it all back. Obviously, I missed the game and missed playing, so yeah, I'm glad that I got another one coming up in the 31st of May and get my boots back on and get out there. I've been training this morning, so the prep started.
Have you really?
I've been on to Jermaine Defoe, seeing he was out running as well. So the rest of Team England better be listening, better get out there.
By the way, Jermaine Defoe, best smelling man in football. Has anyone noticed that? He smells incredible.
But now next time I see him, I know I'm going to be sniffing him.
You'll remember this chat. He smells incredible. Anyway, that's a side note. Who are you most looking forward to be playing with or against, Tony?
I think it's good to have Ollie Mears back. Obviously, he didn't play last year, but I've seen him play in previous years, and he's a bit of a bowler himself. Tom Grennan as well. He become a good mate, but he's also a great player. But also looking forward to seeing GK Barry.
Yeah.
Obviously representing the girls, but I'm sure she can't wait to get out there. Obviously, her girlfriend plays as well, so she'll be wanting to prove a point to her.
I'm sure she will be. Listen, Tony, it's been good to have you on with us today. I'm glad you've recovered, because I heard you had a big one a couple of weekends ago in Amsterdam.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I've been in the gym this morning, Shebahn.
I've got my spies, Toni Duggan. I've got my spies. Listen, fair play to you. Thanks for coming on, and good luck for Soccer Aid. We'll speak to you before then anyway, okay?
Thank you. See you soon.
Tony. See you soon, mate.
Take care, Toni Duggan there joining us, England legend. She will be taking part in Soccer Aid 20, the 20th anniversary, and looking to smash massive 121 million donations records. Don't forget, you can get your tickets now. It's a great day out from the family, unless you're in the dressing room where the swearing starts. You can get your tickets at socceraid.org.uk/tickets. Adults from 20 quid and juniors for a tenner, and it's at the London Stadium as well. So
yeah, back at London. So it's where I played the first one. It was amazing. The reaction I got is just, I was so nervous about it, and just the reaction of people. There's a video of me when I come off. Oh, it was unreal. And my girls got to see. My girls come to Old Trafford last year, and they objectively do not like football. They don't want to watch it anytime Arsenal's on or anything like that. Maybe they just don't like set pieces. But they don't like any set pieces. But it was amazing. Having them when I come off and I saw them, and it was the best.
Yeah, very special time. Looking forward to this. talkSPORT going to be there as well, keeping you across absolutely everything as and when it happens on the 31st of May and the 20th anniversary of Soccer Aid. Okay, you're listening to Aherne and Brooker in for H&J this afternoon here on talkSPORT. Coming up, the 100-day countdown is on to the World Cup.
Chelsea are winless against Arsenal. In 8 league games against Arsenal, Chelsea have lost 5 and drawn 3, scoring 6, conceding 15. Arsenal also won both legs of the Carabao Cup semi-final this season between the sides. So, I mean, you have to go back a long, long way
Abramovich.
when Chelsea did anything against Arsenal. You're right, Emmanuel. And here's the thing. Chelsea's co-owner Todd Bowley has been speaking about this. He spoke at the iConnections conference on their arrival in English football.
Having taken over in the circumstances we did, basically the whole management team left.
Yeah.
Right? So I was stuck being interim sporting director for a summer, having no idea what made a good football player.
Yeah, right.
But knowing that, Mark Cucurella, if Man City wants him, I want him.
Yeah, right.
It was really simple that way.
That's pretty simple.
He says, Simon, the whole management team left. Well, they kind of did because he sacked them.
Well, he sacked the manager, didn't he?
Right. So out they went. I mean, does Bowley's latest story there, though, Simon, not fly in the face of your compelling and capable image that you have of these characters like Todd Bowley?
I didn't say Todd Bowley, did I?
You said Eghbali.
I said it after Eghbali. I met Todd Bowley in Qatar. I thought Todd was okay, commercially minded man, clearly successful. When I talked about compelling people, it was directly relational to Eghbali. It had no reference to Todd Bowley in there.
Good afternoon. You're listening to talkSPORT. Shebahn and Alex Brooker in for Hawksby and Jacobs this afternoon. We're nearly at an hour. Are you doing?
Yeah, we are. We've just been having some good leg chat, haven't we? Just for the listeners. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was yeah.
Do you mind it when people ask you that, or do you?
What about the prosthetic? No, not at all. Not at all. And when I said before about the when toenails falling off, just to make you feel better.
No, you're not.
My own mum broke a toe. She stubbed it really badly on the stairs last year, and she texted me, and she was like, "I think I've broken my toe," and I just replied with, "You've texted the wrong son about this. I'm not your guy that you should be going to for sympathy."
Yeah, true.
On this one, but no, I don't like it's Yeah, I was just saying that we, I had the donate number put on the leg for Soccer Aid a couple of years ago when I played. At the moment, I've currently got stickers that my daughters put on there. They like to decorate them. They like to. I mean, you look a bit of a weirdo in the gym. I'll be honest with you, but
you'd probably look like a weirdo anyway. Do you know Rory Jennings?
Yes.
Rory. So one day he came into work. Gee, you were there. George Bruce was there, and he sat down and then he stood up, turned around, he was getting stuff out his back, and his whole back and the back of his shorts was covered in like stickers, kids' glittery stickers, and his daughter apparently was standing behind him in the kitchen that day, covered him with stickers. He came in on the train, had no idea.
Do you know what though? If it gets him off the iPad, that's the way I'm like. Look,
Keeps him happy.
Sometimes I remember once during COVID when we were on lockdown, I remember them just saying, "Look, can we put some makeup or draw on your face?" And I just couldn't think of a good enough reason not to.
Yeah.
So I basically became paper for about half hour while they just drew on my face. And do you know what? It used up the time. And if they want to go and put stickers on a fake leg to occupy themselves, they can. And I'll probably pay for the therapy in 10 years' time. When they've got irrational phobias.
Fair enough.
Phobias of metal legs.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. So that's 10 years from now in Alex's life, but 100 days from now, we're kicking off at the World Cup. Comedian Matt Ford has been speaking to some footballing greats on how to win the World Cup podcast. It's the best way to build up to the World Cup with 100 days to go. Listen to it now wherever you get your podcast. How to win the World Cup. Pleased to say our chief football correspondent Alex Crook is with us now. Good afternoon, Crookie. How are you?
I'm good. 100 days. That's going to fly by as well, isn't it?
Have you got your prep in order? Like, have you got the kids sorted? Because you've got lots of children and lots of things to juggle. Are you in order, or is it just me who's not in order?
I haven't really thought about it yet, to be honest. They have. They've already been making noises. They want the full England kit before I get on the plane for the US. So that'll be a fair chunk of my wages gone before we set fly.
I mean, we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be an absolutely massive event, as ever. Maybe the biggest World Cup that we've ever had. What are you most looking forward to about it?
I think going there with genuine expectations when it comes to England, which maybe we've not always had going to World Cups, particularly on in far-flung destinations. I've done a piece actually for the talkSPORT website, Thomas Tuchel's in tray, the things that he needs to address in order to win the first trophy since 1966. And Gabriel Bonlahor keeps taking the mickey out of me for this, but I do think the climate is going to play a massive part. I was looking through the history of the World Cup. Germany in Brazil, the only European team to win a World Cup in the Americas. Obviously, it's a climate that's going to be more suited to the likes of Brazil and Argentina. Thomas Tuchel has had the players training in heat tents to try and get them used to the conditions they're going to face. And actually, you look at the kickoff times, they're all sort of tea time kickoffs over in the US. So the temperature is going to be somewhere in the region of 28 to 32 degrees. So I think that's a big barrier when it comes to England. But I hope it's as good as the World Cup in Qatar. I thought from a footballing perspective, you're going to do well to beat that, and then you've got the big story at the end with Lionel Messi finally getting his hands on the trophy that he craved above all others.
I mean, in terms of the squad, I mean, I think that, there's a lot of talk always about, the attacking talents that England have at their disposal. We've got so many great kind of playmakers, great attacking players. One of the interesting positions I've had is the left back. Because I think I just see that England have tried 6 left backs under Tuchel, but it does still feel a little bit like that position might be up for grabs for someone.
Yeah, 6 left backs in 10 games under Tuchel, and the player who started there more than anyone else is Miles Lewis-Skelly, who can't get in the Arsenal team in the Premier League, and I think therefore isn't even guaranteed a place on the plane. So, yeah, for me, that is one of the big areas of concern. I know there's a lot of people, our own Adrian Durham, for one, who thinks that Lewis Hall, if he can stay fit for the rest of the season, he might be the man to solve that left-back conundrum. I'd turn to someone a bit more experienced. I think Luke Shaw is playing really well for Manchester United, certainly since Michael Carrick got there. He's obviously scored a goal in the European Championship final. They took him to the last Euros, even though he wasn't really fit. He played 12 minutes in the quarter-final against Switzerland, one half of the semis against the Dutch, and then started the final. And it was only really when he came into the team that we had that balance down the left-hand side. You can't play him every game. They won't need to play him every game. I think they should cruise through the group stage without necessarily even needing to call upon someone like Luke Shaw. But you look at their run to the final, and we always get ahead of ourselves and try and plot the route.
You do.
You're going to have to play some really big teams, and I think he's the man you would want in those circumstances.
In terms of away from the World Cup, what's the story about no football next Easter, Alex?
Yeah, I've got to say this has stirred up quite a bit of debate in the talkSPORT breaking news group. But yeah, we've had a look at the FIFA calendar, and as it stands, Easter weekend I think falls at the end of March next year. Obviously, it is interchangeable, and there is an international weekend scheduled for then. So that means there'll be no Premier League games. There isn't this year actually because it's the FA Cup quarter-finals. But more importantly, arguably no EFL fixtures. And you look at Easter weekend this year. Good Friday, a full Championship and EFL programme. Same on Easter Monday. And Easter, historically, tends to be the business end of the season when a lot can be decided. So it's disappointing. I think it is a quirk of the calendar as opposed to sort of coming away from the tradition of Good Friday and Easter Monday games, but not great for those EFL clubs.
Now, they also, obviously, I suppose there'll be a little bit more scrutiny on that change because I think so many people were disappointed when there weren't any games on Boxing Day, or there's only one game on Boxing Day this year. But with this, is this purely just a kind of, like you said, a quirk of how the dates have fallen?
I think so. It's not something the EFL have been advocating for. For example, I mean, the days of double-headed fixtures in the Premier League at Easter are long gone. I remember Steve Bruce scoring those two-headed goals against Sheffield Wednesday the first year of the Premier League. I think I'm right in saying that was Easter Monday, and it was Easter the previous season when United's title challenge faded against Leeds. But as I say, that doesn't tend to happen now, but it is a weekend when the EFL takes centre stage.
OK. Alex Crook, thank you so much for your time. We'll speak to you again soon.
Cheers, guys.
Can't believe there's a talkSPORT breaking news group chat.
You're not in the breaking news? Oh, I'm in the breaking news group.
You're not.
Of course I'm not.
Imagine you were, though.
What a way to find
that
out.
Group? Seriously? Must be some chat in there. You're listening to Hawksby and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Tool Station to stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next up, Tool Station.
It's massively disappointing that some Leeds United fans booed when Manchester City's players broke their fast during the first half of the match at Elland Road this evening. This was compounded by the fact that an explanation was displayed on a big screen inside the stadium. Pausing the game to allow Muslim players to break their fast during Ramadan has been an agreed protocol for several years now. It has been. It's been in place for about 4 to 5 years now. Emmanuel, in your view, I don't know if this happened in French football, but how badly did some Leeds fans let themselves down?
I don't like it. In fact, I hate it.
You hate what? You hate what? The fact that they booed?
Yes, definitely. Because first of all, it's the protocol. But I think more important than that is the political environment we're living in this world, actually. And I totally agree with what Pep just said. And we need more love in this world. There is war everywhere. There is racism coming from everywhere now, and I'm quite scared about what will happen in the future. And to be honest, the world we're living to our kids, and this is not the kind of message, that for me is very helpful for this world. And if you switch on the television, or if you started to read newspapers, you want to commit suicide right now, because the world we're living is poor, and what happened, at Leeds, it's terrible, and I'm pretty sure it's not a reflection of what the vast majority of Leeds fans think.
Good afternoon, you're listening to talkSPORT. It's just gone 2 o'clock. Let's get all of your sports news now with Ben Fletcher.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, helping business owners to work better and live better. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. Arne Slot's not winning any new friends with his criticism of set pieces in the Premier League this season. The Liverpool boss reckons the increase in goals scored from corners is removing joy from matches. Our very own Simon Jordan says it's funny how he wasn't as bothered last season.
They go into the transfer market, they buy everybody they get their hands on that's not nailed down, and then they complain about the fact that the league is now reflective of a different kind of football that they don't much like.
So, to quote you, Arne, pack it in.
A little bit.
Liverpool go to Wolves tonight, knowing victory will lift them into 4th. Burnley are away at Everton, with Scott Parker admitting the disallowed goal against Brentford has affected him.
There's only so many experiences you can go through when you come to a game of football that don't leave scars.
Victory would leave Burnley 5 adrift of safety with 9 games to go. talkSPORT take you around the grounds for all the goals as they go in. You can hear Ipswich versus Hull, 4th versus 5th in the Championship, over on talkSPORT 2. Danny Welbeck has triggered a 1-year option in his contract at Brighton. The 35-year-old Seagulls top scorer this season with 11 goals will remain at the Amex until summer 2027. Thomas Tuchel says Welbeck is on his radar following his recent form. And big racing news ahead of the Cheltenham Festival. Last year's Queen Mother Champion chase, Marine National won't defend his crown. That's because of a neck problem. Trainer Barry Connell has described it as horrendous luck. Remember, you can hear every race next week across the talkSPORT network.
talkSPORT News.
The Chancellor says we're a state that doesn't step back but steps up as she's delivered her spring statement. Meanwhile, the UK is considering sending a major warship to Cyprus to help defend an RAF base. There's more from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Come rain or shine, we've got your electric car covered with 400 EV ready centres, so you can drive away happy every time.
The odd spot of drizzle in the south, but in the main, sunny spells for this afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. You're listening to talkSPORT. H&J off today. So today it's Shebahn Aherne and Alex Brooker. So far, so good.
I think we're doing all right.
I think you're okay. You're smashing
We're off to a tough start.
Absolutely smashing it. We're building up to the football tonight, by the way. All the updates coming for you on kick-off with Adrian Durham. So we've got Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton, Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland, all kicking off at 7:30 this evening. And then 8:15, Wolves take on Liverpool. So that's all ahead of us tonight. Adrian Durham going to be with us in a moment to look ahead to those games. And then tomorrow, Arsenal. are back in action. Obviously, Mikel Arteta has been doing his interview. What's this chat about the set pieces that he's been asked about in the interview?
So Fabian Hürzeler, the Brighton manager, has kind of said in his press conference that Arsenal take a long time with corners and throw-ins, and actually cited the fact that I think there was one, he said, whether it was at the weekend, where they took a minute to take a corner. And then I've actually just been looking up the stats, and we do take the longest time, the most delay, around about, I think it's about 44 seconds to restart. So, I mean, there is, if it's a Premier League average restart, Arsenal take 5 seconds longer than the next one, which is Sunderland. And interestingly, Chelsea and Man City are the quickest at getting them underway. But I just think with Arsenal, it's just, there's so much chat. It's just become a big narrative at the moment, the thing with set pieces. And kind of, I feel like, as I said, we're good at it. So I'd much rather I've watched Arsenal play for years with that. We used to do our nut at players hitting the first man, not even beating the first man on the corner, and now we've got good at them. I'm glad we are. I'd much rather we were good at them than rubbish at them. Do I think genuinely and objectively, do I think that we take a long time? Certainly with throw-ins, I lose my mind sometimes. That I think we do take too long. Also, I just feel like it puts us under pressure. The corners, I think there's a lot going on. And they've got certain routines, and maybe that's what's taking so long. But yeah. I feel like I say, we hadn't scored a set piece for a while before that one the other day.
Well, your set piece coach Nicholas Jover,
he's on. I saw that thing. He's on bonuses, isn't he? Per set piece goal, absolute result for him.
Arsenal have scored 32 goals from set pieces, excluding penalties, in all competitions this season, including 24 from corners. So he must be absolutely caked.
He's having a good old time, isn't he?
Yeah, build a statue.
Think about the win bonus as well if they win the league.
I know. But listen, you've got to play to your strengths.
Look, they've got to play to their strengths, and I feel like I remember a few years ago Arsenal playing really expensive football when people didn't expect them to go for the title, and I think at one point they were 8 points clear of City, and everyone was flying. Martinelli was scoring for fun and stuff like that, and Saka was chipping in, and we ended up we didn't go the distance. We ended up throwing it away at the end of the year, and I think maybe we couldn't really cope defensively as well as what we can now. So we still, I don't know. I'm obviously very very biased, but I must say I do think sometimes we take a bit too long.
But are you entertained?
Am I entertained?
Watch now.
If you'd have asked me with about 4 minutes of that Chelsea game on Sunday, if you'd have seen the camera on me, I did not look like a bloke that was being entertained. I looked like a bloke who was having a breakdown because I was so sure Chelsea had scored. If you'd have asked me when I was at Wolves the other week, that second half where I think every Arsenal fan to a man and woman in the crowd could see that Arsenal were going to do something silly and throw that away, that whole second half that was coming, I wouldn't have said we were entertained, but that's the title race. That's what it is. That's what it means. We're all desperate for them to win it, aren't we? So, of course, we're quite emotional. It's interesting now, actually, because Arteta used to get really, really emotional on the touchline. It feels like actually this season he's slightly calmed down a little bit.
I agree with you.
I think he has calmed down a lot, and he used to lose his mind on the touchline. And I feel like this season he's kind of gone, do you know what? Actually, someone's got to be calm in this stadium, because obviously it transmits to the players. And when they go, and they say, look, the fans. I saw Emmanuel Petit yesterday saying that he felt that the Arsenal fans inside the stadium on Sunday were nervous, and it transmits. But yeah, we are nervous, because we keep gifting teams goals like we did United, like we did Wolves. So, yeah, because with Arsenal at the moment, even at times when you think, yeah, we've got loads of the ball, we look comfortable, there's been the propensity to do something silly. So, yeah, I can say from my own point of view, I get nervous watching us. If you see my Arsenal, I'm not in the talkSPORT breaking news WhatsApp group, but in my Arsenal WhatsApp groups, the kind of from 1 week to the next, it's like, we're rubbish, we're going to throw this away. And it's like, we're amazing. What a result. So happy for Gyökeres. Then like the next game, it'll be like, he's not. And look, I'd be honest with you, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I haven't been one of those.
But I feel a lot of the fan base are like that.
But I think
those jitters will rub off on the team.
I think
if
they
not
will.
The team
I feel like it absolutely will. I think that there's, just with Arsenal, I think it's been so, what is it, 22 years since they last won the league in 2004. So I feel like it's just built up, and because they have been close, and because there is this thing with City that they are like a juggernaut towards the end of the season, and everyone's just sat there going, we're waiting now for City to win 12, 13 games on the bounce, and it's almost like it's coming. And I know City fans feel that way. I've got my mate who's a City fan who's texting me just going like, out of nerves after every game. And it is. And rightly so, City fans should feel confident because they have been there and done it. They've watched them do it, whereas we haven't. So I feel like that's why we're...
Are you
we're
one
so
of those
nervous.
Arsenal fans who'll be disappointed if you win the Champions League but finish second in the league?
No.
You'll take it.
I'm one of those Arsenal fans who'll probably be drinking for a week. It's actually, by the way, the Champions League final is the night before Soccer Aid.
Oh... You'll be a disgrace.
I wouldn't like to say on the day that it launches how I'll obviously try and be professional.
Well, you might not be there.
No, I mean, yeah, so I would always, I'd love Arsenal to win the Champions League. Also, that's another thing that gets thrown at us.
I want to say that if you get past Leverkusen, is it Leverkusen you've got?
Yeah, we've got Leverkusen and it's Sporting or Bodo.
Bodo are
a decent team.
Causing a wee bit of a problem.
Bodo are a decent team. Again, it's one of those things where, look, we all saw the draw on Friday and we were like, you are on the opposite side of the draw to City, Liverpool, Chelsea, PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. So you go, we have had objective, we've had a bit of a touch here. Yeah. So I think that, but at the same time, they've still got to get past these teams.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. You've got to get past Brighton tomorrow night.
That's the big one.
Which, good performance for them at the weekend.
It was a good performance there, and they've all of a sudden, like Brighton hadn't won for ages, and all of a sudden I think they've won like a couple on the bounce, I think it is. So like Brighton are coming into a bit of form again now. So yeah, it's going to be another tense night, but it is at that stage of the season where you basically got to you've got to win every game. We can't afford to keep dropping points.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they get the win over Brentford, which a lot of people would see as a bit of a shock considering what Brentford have been doing this season, and beating Forest as well. So on a good run just now are Brighton. We'll have all the updates on that one here for you.
I really hope we score from a corner and take 2 minutes to do it. I'm joking.
And then if you're not moaning about that, you're moaning that other fan bases don't support you.
Yeah, no, that's quite a weird one because I've not been one for like texting other fan bases and being really supportive. I've never gone. It's like I was saying to you before. It's like my Liverpool mates last season. Everyone was saying, "Well, Liverpool are only winning it because everyone else is rubbish," and then it's like that was the kind of the narrative. And you could just go, "Oh, they're just better," and like it will be whoever wins it this season.
Arsenal have got to win it. They've got to win it. But then we do know City in this situation.
Yeah, they love it.
They hunt.
Yeah, they do, and they live for it as well. So that's why I said yesterday to Max, I feel like as a fan base we're basket cases at times at the moment, and we are. So I'll be interested to see what Arteta has to say about Ursula. I know he's coming in to do his press conference, so
we'll get all of that for you very, very soon here on talkSPORT. We're 100 days away from the World Cup, by the way. We're going to be speaking to Brian T. Smith very soon, our US reporter for us. You're listening to Hawksby and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation, ready to help at over 580 stations nationwide. Next stop, Toolstation.
He's a new manager. I mean, he'll be talking about the backroom, behind the scenes now, and how the club lacks ambition next, because that'll be his next default setting. That's about him. That's not about the players. On the converse, the players should be ashamed of themselves. Those Spurs players are a disgrace to be in the position that they're in with the quality of the squad that they've got, it transcends just the culture of a football club. It transcends just the backroom, boardroom, whoever it is, the Lewis family or Daniel Levy, and it transcends the manager. It's about individual players thinking that they've gotten more, they're more important than they actually are. They're getting sucked into a relegation battle now. And it's gone beyond a joke now. I mean, I didn't expect them to win at Fulham, but I expect them to put on a commendable performance. I said last week, without wanting to be too much of a doomsday merchant, if they get beat by Palace and Fulham, they've got existential mortal jeopardy now, because they're now in a situation where they follow Liverpool up. They're going to get beat by Liverpool unless they really turn up in that game. And if they can turn up against Liverpool and they can't against Palace and Fulham, then they're cheats.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that Spurs are getting... The only thing that's keeping Spurs in this division is a lack of performance from other sides. The only thing that is a moment in time that will keep Spurs in the Premier League is that West Ham won't win enough games. That's the only thing that will keep them in the league at this moment in time. I mean, and the players need to be held accountable. But how you do that, if you want to settle scores and tell these players that have got so much to say for themselves, tell you what they're entitled to, tell you what they should be paid, tell you what treatment they should expect, tell you what they expect of everybody around them. But when it comes to what you expect of them, oh, no, not me, Gov, it's the manager's fault. But the point is that's what you've got right now. So he's got to find a better way than perhaps barracking them in the press.
They haven't won in the league since December the 28th, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Party have won the Denton and Gorton by-election. Labour in third place.
Breaking news that Peter Mandelson has now been arrested. So Mandy and Andy have now both had their collars felt.
What would Andrew Loney tell them to do?
To come clean, be honest. And if Charles is complicit in this cover-up, which I believe he is, then I think he has to fall on his sword.
When you define sex, what your gender or sex, what you mean is biological sex, and that's a man or woman, what you are physically, not what you think you are on a Wednesday afternoon.
Greatest and most prestigious football tournament in the world.
Lionel Messi pens the ultimate ecstatic chapter to complete his already extraordinary story.
It's coming back to a very different soccer landscape than back in 1994.
We've seen some inconceivable storylines. It's a red card! Zidane sent off! We've seen some inconceivable scorelines. Played inside the penalty area here. Oh! 7. That's the best of the lot. Brazil 0. Germany 7. Eric Dyer wins the shootout. England have won a shootout. And so to the next instalment of the story.
I'm proud of the players, what they did. We're proud of what we achieved together. It was 3 amazing camps.
Oh, what a goal! Harry Kane completes his hat-trick. Scotland are going to the World Cup finals. Kenny McLean. There's a World Cup to be won. Mbappe has a hat-trick. He has his place in history. History for Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo. It comes to Vinicius Junior. 1-0. Anyone could win it. Maybe it's our year.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. 100 days out. You're listening to talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne Alex Brooker with you, joined by Brian T. Smith, our talkSPORT US reporter. Good to have you with us.
It's good to be back. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you. This is what we needed. We needed an American accent.
Yes, we did.
100 days to the World Cup. Who do we call? Brian T. Smith.
You either love it or you hate it. There's
I
probably
love it.
with an just the word American right now. You either love it or you hate it. Not sure why, but maybe that's what it is.
It's a funny old time, isn't it? Well, it's not funny at all, but you know, it's a weird time.
It's a weird time when just being transparent, we're in here to talk about 100 days from the World Cup and everything which is incredible. And there's some other stuff going on in the world right now too. So that it is a bit of a weird time in the world.
Yeah. Is it affecting the build-up to the World Cup, to the football?
I think it is. I really do. I think that what is going on, I mean, we're not about to do politics, but what is going on right now in the world is so serious, was so sudden, so dramatic, that I think it's overshadowed everything right now. I mean, I was just walking the Thames and having a great hour break, and you're walking around London, everything seems the same, but obviously not that far away. It's not the same. I will say that I get excited, really excited, just thinking 100 days from the World Cup, because the beauty of the World Cup and sports in general is that it can unite us. We saw that with the Euros, with the Super Bowl, on and on. So no matter what's going on, as long as it doesn't get too crazy, usually sports will bring us together.
Brings us together. Yeah.
It does feel just with the World Cup that there has been before obviously what's going on in the world at the moment, there was a lot of talk about the ticket sales and the ticket pricing, and there's kind of been a lot of, before it started, like there was a lot, kind of a bit of a negative feel about it, just based on the way the ticket sales were priced themselves.
100%. We have so much of this covered at talksport.com and all our social channels at TalkSport USA. But you know, the one thing I do believe, though, is that it seems like, and you're going to know it better than me, that whether it was Russia or Qatar, the previous World Cups, this is also kind of the thing, right? There's so much, there's negativity, there's questions, can they pull this off, whether it's immigration issues or visa issues or, hooligans or like whatever. These have been human rights issues, often very, very real, but they often shadow the World Cup, and then the World Cup begins and everything is okay for 4 or 5 weeks. I hope that happens again, especially with everything going on in the world and the U.S. right now. But it has been, I completely agree with you. There has been a lot of negativity, a lot of question marks, a lot of unanswered questions right now, and the World Cup's only 100 days away.
Yeah, that exactly. Talk to us about then the USA. How are they looking?
I think they look as good as they could look. The question is how good are they going to be once the matches start? They're going to have the crowd. I've been saying this all along on TalkSport, and I will continue to say this. If they make a run, a real run, I expect them to get out of the group stage. But if all of a sudden, if they win a knockout game, if they get the entire country behind them, it is going to just absolutely be electric in that country. The question is it going to happen with Mauricio Pochettino? I just spoke with Chris Richards from Crystal Palace, who in many ways is the best overall player right now for the United States men's national team. And obviously he wants to lift the trophy, but what he was telling me is what he really wants to do and this team to do is to put the type of performances together, to have the type of run where they inspire the next generation of players. Because what Premier League is, what football is in England, in the United Kingdom, that is the NFL in America. Yeah. And the only way they're going to even make a dent in that is to really have the greatest run in U.S. men's national team history in the home country. And again, that could be 100 days away.
And I remember when Pochettino started at US, when he first took over, they went on a bit of a bad run. They had some bad results. Has that kind of turned around now and given you cause for optimism?
So you obviously, you're going to have your friendlies coming up. The last bit that we're going to see this team and the England team before you get the official rosters and they lock in and this thing gets real. I will say that their last bit of and obviously they automatically qualify, but their last set of tournaments were encouraging. And whether it's Kristen Pulisic's play this season, whether it's Chris Richards, Tyler Adams, on and on and on, they do have enough. And when I was talking to Chris Richards, he was saying that the one thing Pochettino has done a really good job was for this team, and you might not associate this with what he did for Chelsea or even Tottenham, but he's instilled a toughness that they didn't have before and a grit. They spent about 40 days together getting to this point. And so Richards is really looking forward to getting back with the team, to being able to prove in a lot of ways everybody wrong, because the whole world's going to be waiting for Spain or England or Argentina, the top teams, to make, to dominate the World Cup. What's going to happen if the U.S. men's national team is actually pretty good in its own World Cup?
Yeah. That exactly. And is the Pochettino chat swirling out there in the US as well, that he could be coming back to the Premier League? Because obviously that's something we discussed here, especially with Spurs links.
That's what's going to get really interesting too, is that the better that Mauricio Pochettino does with the United States men's national team, if I'm a Premier League manager, the more I want him, right? And he's gone out of his way to let everyone in the world know that he would love to come back to Tottenham at some point. He would love to be part of the Spurs organization at some point. I do find it very interesting that Thomas Tuchel re-upped already before they've even played a game in the World Cup with England through 2028. Pochettino hasn't done that yet. So how do they end up handling that? Who's managing the U.S. in 2028? I think so much of it comes down to what they end up doing in this World Cup.
I need to ask about the heat as well. I mean, this man, he says he's a -10 and he's comfortable. He likes it cold.
Can't get over that, can you?
No, it's too weird. I mean, we know that in terms of training, England had, Tuchel was giving them this hydration tablet and had them on treadmills and these heat sauna tents. Are we going to be able to cope with this heat? You know what it's like. You grew up there.
So I grew up in New Orleans. I lived in Houston, Texas for 12 years before I moved here. I struggle with the Fahrenheit, Celsius, but 100 degrees Fahrenheit is normal in New Orleans with 100% humidity. The humidity is the difference. That's what no one's talking about right now, but that will be the difference because you're playing all over America. You're playing in Canada. You're playing in Mexico, which also gets very, very hot. If you look back at England's history, England has definitely, without question, been affected by the climate in World Cups. It's actually one of the recurring themes. Tuchel's had a year and a half to put all this together, but that's going to be a huge part. Because just go back to the Club World Cup. You had lightning delays, weather delays. You had to have basically water breaks, almost like it was little kids playing on the pitch. It's going to be a huge issue because they will be doing it in summer. Some of these stadiums are outdoor stadiums. Some of them are stadiums that are covered or have retractable roofs. And so I have no doubt that one of the biggest topics will be the pitch and the temperature and the humidity in the World Cup.
I'm thinking of the Scots as ginger Scots. Will there be an actual fire, Alex?
I always remember thinking back to USA '94, and seeing the Ireland team. I remember them playing Mexico, and I remember it mainly for John Aldridge going mad at the guy who would let him onto the pitch. But I always think that about the weather. But is there a lot of excitement in the US from fans about the World Cup?
I feel like right now we're at the wave where it hasn't hit yet, but we're at this final stage. The U.S. is very, whether we're talking politics and what's going on or whether we're talking sports, the U.S. is very immediate. What is happening right now? What is the biggest thing right now? If you're in the U.S. right now, Major League Baseball is in spring training, March Madness, NCAA tournament, college basketball is about to begin. That's, we're a few weeks away from the Masters. That is where the U.S. is at. But I promise you, once you get to June, as long as the world doesn't get too crazy and you have the World Cup, it's going to be because it won't just be the U.S. fans. As you know, it'll be the English fans and the Scottish fans and people from Brazil. And as long as we work out of the visa issues, it should be the biggest, greatest World Cup in history by far. Gianni Infantino compared it to having 100 Super Bowls in the United States. And that's not hyperbole. That is the truth once you factor in the money and the sponsorships and the TV. But let's see them successfully pull this off and also for it to be safe.
Ryan, just before you go, football aside, who's better, Scotland or England?
That's the most intense question anyone's asked me in 2.5. Wait, are we talking?
By the way, Brian, Shebahn said it with so much intensity.
Say it.
I'm going to answer it, but wait, are we talking countries? Are we talking teams or history? Because the real.
What's your answer?
I mean, England, but I love Scotland, but I will never be allowed in Edinburgh again.
Brian T. Smith, our USA reporter. Thank you. You'll be back with us, of course, as we build up to the World Cup. 100 days to go. You're listening to talkSPORT News and Sport on the way next.
Jim, what do you make of all the red cards? How do you stop the red card? Do you have a little meeting? What would we do if we was all getting sent off every week?
I think it is naivety. I think it's being young. I think also I think there have to be a little bit more structure. I think. I think a little bit more pressure as well on the players. You have got a responsibility.
Of course you have, yeah.
To stay on the pitch, 11.
I don't think there's no excuse for dissent and things like that, is there?
No, but
I know it's a passionate game, and you want to see you know be passionate.
Yeah, you want to, and you want to have that. You want to keep that. And football is about that, really. It's about emotions.
Were you a little bit surprised, Jim? I was just going to say, Jimmy, were you a little bit surprised at the appointment of Liam Senior? A lot of people, myself, a little bit surprised. I can't lie to you, but I think he's come in and he's if he's not hit the ground running, he's certainly looked as though he can handle the situation.
Yeah, it looks like that from outside. He's done exceptionally well at Strasbourg. They obviously know him. They have looked at him from really close by. He's brought Strasbourg in Europe, what hasn't happened for a long time.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
Good afternoon, how are you? Welcome along to Hawksby and Jacobs with Shebahn Aherne Alex Brooker. This afternoon, pleased to say we've been joined in the studio by heavyweight Dave Allen and lightweight Joe Howard. Hello.
His real name's actually Joe Howarth.
But he's alter ego is
Howard
Joe
or
Howard.
Howarth. So you've got to do your research in this show.
Well, literally everyone in boxing thinks he's called Joe Howard now.
Oh, just because you tell him?
Yeah, his last fight he got announced as Joe Howard Howarth.
Oh, jeez. That's taking a
Just a
turn.
wind-up.
Does it bother you yet, Joe, or is this, you can't say anything because he's going to maybe knock you out?
I'm used to it now. Joe Howard, yeah. I just think it's funny. It's not even that funny, actually.
It's childish, isn't it, really? It's actually proper childish.
So it is Joe Howard. Let's
Yeah,
get
Joe
the
Howard,
name
yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we've put it out there. How are you guys doing? When did you two start working together?
About 2 years ago, I started managing Joe. I trained and managed lots of fighters. Doing it for about 6 years now. I'm still actually quite young. But yeah, I enjoy it. I've had Joe about 2 years, been training for about a year. He's the Central Area Lightweight champion. He'd been boxing on matchroom shows on his own for the last year. We're flying. Yeah, I do a little bit of boxing as well. So yeah, it's
you
good.
too. Big fight a couple of weeks ago that you won. How are you feeling after all that?
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't really a big fight. It was just like a comeback fight because I lost the fight previously. But he boxed as well. Actually, he was on the card. Joe Howard was on.
He was good. Joe Howard was very
Yeah,
good.
Joe Howard was really good. Yeah. So I got there to the venue to watch Joe Howard. He won, and then I went and got ready. I won. We had a great night.
And Joe, what's Dave like as a trainer?
Yeah, it's good. He knows what he's on a bit, doesn't he?
I'm actually quite a good coach, but when we're not in the gym, but we don't just train in gyms. We train on my patio. I had a patio, quite famous actually. So basically,
Not as daft as he looks.
no, I'm not. But I had this house, right, and I had a patio, and it was really funnily patterned. I didn't do it. It was like that when I moved in. So I started training all these on my patio, but the patio started to fall to pieces. Like there were holes in it, and these were doing like the footwork drills, but they're having to avoid like turning their ankles over. But that's where I'm ahead of all these other coaches. Like I'm putting all these things there. Like it's not just boxing training; it's like survival skills.
Well, like what other skills then do you have to?
Survival skills, like don't roll your ankle.
That would be it then.
Be careful of dodgy
But
patios.
should you not just get my better
It was
surface?
actually dodgy, that, wasn't it?
And I used to train, not so much him, but the others, I trained them in like random fields, like anywhere. We take the pads, get the gloves, and we just train anywhere.
Take them back to basics. Barefoot.
Sometimes I would just, all sorts. Yeah, I'm not even going to go into it. We used to do some mad things, yeah.
What else?
No, we just.
You can't say that. And then
No, we just go everywhere, and I'd just be like, look, we just need to just get training now. I train them everywhere. I make them like train like. Where do we used to spar in Morrison's actually? You know the shop.
Morrison's.
We used to train in Morrison's. I used to get the pads out because like he's quite a shy, nervous kid, Joe Howard, and to get like the best out of him, like to build his confidence. I said, listen, I know it's Morrison's, and I know it's busy. We'll get these gloves on, yeah, and let's hit the pads in front of everyone.
Do you pick a particular aisle?
Yeah.
Is there a
biscuit
Red
aisle?
aisle biscuits.
The meat aisle.
Meat aisle.
The meat counter.
Right.
Yeah. I'd be like, look, get your gloves on, and like we just get at it and that. And
Did the security ask you to leave at any point, or did they not want to?
no, we
approach
used to do it in Wigan, where Joe's from. It's quite a big name there, Joe Howard. So basically, everyone would just come round and gather around to watch us. It was
You're at the
amazing.
pure wind up today.
No, I'm serious. It's actually a true story. That's actually true. You don't believe it, but we've trained everywhere. Anywhere you can think of, we've trained.
Do it in the studio then.
If we had the pads and that, we'd be at it now. But obviously, I've already trained twice today. So, been busy. I'm a busy guy.
When is the Zhili Zhang fight? Tell us more about that.
That one's not happening yet, but I think I'm definitely boxing Sheffield in June in Sheffield.
Okay.
In Sheffield in June. Either way you put it. Joe Howard's boxing 4-week Friday. He's got an English title eliminator. Tell him about it.
Tell us about it, Joe Howard.
What do you mean? You've just sold him.
He's boxing Josh Blinkyron, English title eliminator at Aldschcombe Ice Place.
Ice place.
It's like an ice arena.
It's absolutely
Like an ice rink.
It's like an ice rink.
An ice rink.
But on the
Yeah, it's freezing.
Tell him more about it.
What do you mean? Tell him more about what? You've just sold him.
He's looking forward to it.
Are you feeling confident for it?
Yeah, very confident.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to warm me up already?
I know. He's
We're total
Kelly's
opposite.
on one.
That's why it works though, because me and him are total opposites. That's why we're like a double. I train lots of boxers, and Joe's one of the better ones, to be fair, but people love it because we're total opposites. Like Joe's a bit quiet and that. I'm not so quiet. I'm a bit of a character, I guess. Some people say, and it works. Yeah.
Right. What's this chat we've been hearing in the office today? That you're scared of tomatoes.
So when I was a kid, right? So 3-4 years of age, I've got a few big sisters, but one of them in particular, Danielle. She used to get like tomato ketchup comes in like a bottle in it. So she would literally pin me down and force feed me tomato ketchup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I can't remember really.
That's
so
cruel.
As I got older, like I see tomato ketchup bottles and that, and I'd be like, I knew it was a bad thing.
Yeah.
I always associate tomato ketchup.
Okay.
No, but I associate tomato ketchup like with trouble and that. Like I knew if I saw tomato ketchup, I'd get a bit nervous and that. And then, as I got a bit older, I realised there's real tomatoes. And sometimes when
Never tried pizza or anything, have you?
No, I would never try pizza. I went with Jim White for a pizza once actually. But one time I came back home, right, and I've been winding him up because I do that sometimes. He was sat on the sofa, he had a tomato in each hand.
Yeah.
He had a tomato in each hand.
So what if
What?
I've got a tomato now.
I would never touch it. I would never touch
Hold
it.
the tomato, Dave,
Can't hold
and
it.
you'll win your next
I
five fights.
genuinely would rather lose.
You would rather lose than touch the tomato.
But that's all right. But it's the puree stuff. If you had a bottle of tomato ketchup now, I'd have to leave. I genuinely would have to
What
leave.
if I took a bite of this right now? Would that freak you out?
Anyone that eats tomatoes is a bit.
Freak me out.
Yeah.
Take a bite of it now. I don't know about
And the juice all came out and all that. It started.
I didn't know people ate raw tomatoes. Didn't know that was a thing.
Of course they do.
Really?
Well, you don't cook them all the time.
Do you know? I don't know.
Tomato salad.
Puree you.
You know what? It's the bot.
No, he
It's
doesn't
the.
like it. He
It's
doesn't
the.
like it.
No, it's the. My sister honestly used to pin me down, pour the bottle in my mouth and that,
That's so cruel.
and yeah, it's tears everywhere.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's tears and tomato ketchup everywhere. You didn't enjoy that, did you?
No, it wasn't great. Actually, for a minute, I thought, is that fake? That was like
Honestly,
a wax tomato. It
There
is
was
really.
tears and that, like if I wrote a book on my childhood, yeah, it'd be called Tears and Tomato Ketchup. The Dave Allen story. Yeah. From 1 to 9 years of age. And then obviously I got to 9 and that, and she has to stop because, like I said to her,
I'll batter you.
I'm a man now. Do you know what I mean? I'm 9 now. So she stopped, but yeah, I still live with it.
Oh, do you know that? But even the idea of swallowing a big teaspoon of tomato ketchup would turn anyone's stomach, never mind being a wee boy.
I tried mayo for the first time last month on the David Allen White Rhino Boxing YouTube channel. I tried mayo for the first time. Oh, horrible. Do you like mayo?
You don't like
Don't
sauces?
like any sauce,
then?
but gravy.
I like gravy.
Gravy,
But
mate.
we're
Say
Northerners,
gravy?
aren't we?
Gravy.
Gravy. Look, buddy. He sounds like, Peter Kay. Peter Kay in Max and Paddy. Look, buddy.
So you've got a fear of sauces in general then. How have you only just tried mayonnaise? That's.
And you know what? I had a
This is
sheltered.
amazing.
No, I had a sheltered life, to be honest. We didn't have sauces. But people say to me, like, because I box now, and like sometimes I'm a bit fat and that. People go, like, you should be a little bit more professional, but they don't understand. As a kid, there were no sauces. I never had a McDonald's until I was like 18 years old yet. My dad used to let me, like, I was on a diet every day. So when I got out and that into the real world, started eating all these nice things and that, I thought, phew, this is what I've been missing, but I don't like sauces. So.
I was going to say, you should try some of those nice things with sauce, mate. They're brilliant. Honestly, Mackey's with sauce.
You know what? I just don't like sauce, Like, I say to Joe all the time, like, when me and Joe sometimes, when we celebrate and that, we go for a nice McDonald's and that, I'll take him to McDonald's and stuff.
Is that the celebration meal? McDonald's?
Sometimes, yeah.
But Joe likes, the toys and that. Joe loves the toys and that.
Are you a book or a toy? You can choose, Joe.
Toy. Can't read.
Brilliant. Listen, I feel we should talk about something more serious like boxing, but this is quite good fun.
No, it's all true. Everything I've said is true as well. It's all true.
Do you want to talk about Usyk
Can do.
fighting a kickboxer? Where'd you stand on that?
I know Rico Verhoeven. I actually met him in Bolton. I lived in Bolton, right? I was 20. How old were I, Joe? 21, I think.
I probably wasn't even born then.
Honestly, Joe might be my son. We're not sure. We're a bit confused.
I'm definitely not your son. Definitely not.
And, so anyway, there was a knock on my door. Right? I lived in this flat, so I got a knock on the door and I thought, I'm going a bit mad me. I'm having a nap in the afternoon. I was 22. Anyway, so I've gone to the door. I've opened the door, right, and I'm about to kick off because I thought one of the lads I live with. I opened the door, some fella there, absolutely ginormous, and I thought, who's this? Honestly, a bit nervous. Looked up at Rico Verhoeven, who's fighting Usyk, yeah?
Right.
Lovely fella. Did a bit of sparring with him. He's actually a really good fighter. Probably one of the best kickboxers there's ever been. But this is boxing, isn't it? So and Usyk's probably the best heavyweight of the last 20 years. So I don't really like the fight, me. You know, it shouldn't be sanctioned as a heavyweight. It should be an exhibition. Like, Usyk should give his belts up, let Wardley, Cabiel, all these upcoming heavyweights that want a chance to be the heavyweight champion, let them do that, and you can do your exhibitions and like go and do them elsewhere. Make your money. I don't begrudge him because he's had an amazing career, but don't do it at the cost of other people's careers as well.
Well, that's the thing I was thinking about. Obviously, financially, there's an incentive to do that sort of fight. But for Usyk himself, like, what's the point of?
Again, is it money? Is it just
got to be
turn down that money, Dave?
Yeah, it's got to be just a financial thing, I think. But how much is enough?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I were worth millions of pounds, I don't think I'd want more millions.
Yeah. Would you eat a teaspoon of tomato ketchup?
How much?
For 200 million now?
200 million? I'd eat worse than that.
Would you?
Yeah, would I?
I wouldn't even do it for 200
I'd eat anything you want. I'd eat anything.
Do it.
I'd eat anything. I'd put tomato ketchup on anything you want. I'd eat it.
200 mil?
Yeah, 200 mil. Of course I would. For 200 mil, anything. Why, what were we thinking? Like,
I
what were
don't
we
know.
thinking?
Now you've said it, I should have gone a bit lower.
No, 200 mil. I'd do anything for 200 mil.
I went in a bit hard there.
Anything.
Yeah, probably. Don't know. We're lying on radio. Hold it in. For 200 mil, there's not much I won't do. What about you?
No, I'm exactly the same.
Yeah,
You went in really
the
high.
same, yeah. Give me anything, I'll probably try it.
I'll do it for 2 mil.
Don't do that.
I'll have a spoonful of tomato
$2
ketchup.
grand.
You just said you wouldn't hold that tomato and you would lose a fight instead of
for $2 grand, I would. For $2 grand, I'd hold it.
All right, well, I don't have that with me. Do you
Oh.
have that?
I
Alex
don't think
probably has it.
I've never talked about tomatoes as much as what I have
I know, it's a
today.
bit weird,
and I
isn't
quite
it?
like it.
Oh, do you know what's lovely when you're a wee bit hungover?
What's your favourite
Tomato
vegetable?
juice.
Or fruit? Actually, 'cause tomatoes actually a fruit.
It's a fruit. Very
What's your
smart.
favourite vegetable, though?
Peppers. Love peppers.
Broccoli.
Broccoli's good.
Broccoli.
I like garden peas.
Garden poos? Garden peas? Right, jeez.
About.
Right, this is.
few of them, aren't there?
This is when we got this fact sheet. This is not how I imagined this chat.
Right, let's go to break. Dave Allen, thank you so much. Joe Howard / Joe Howarth. Let's get the name right, guys. It's been good to see you. Thank you so much for the crack. Good luck for what's to come.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. You're listening to talkSPORT. Things took a turn. We will resume normality next after the break.
Terrible result for you, really, and Anthony Gordon got booed.
Yeah, well, if you remember, I spoke to you last week on the way home from the game, and you told me that Anthony Gordon would get into any team in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I disagreed with you, and I told you he's not as good as you all think he is. And he was terrible again today.
He's not the only one, though. Why all of a sudden is he being targeted?
Because of his lack of effort.
I don't see that side of his game. I mean, I watched the game today. You can't say he didn't try.
Did you see when the ball came at the box and he could have headed it in, but he'll not put himself in any position where he's going to get hurt. He doesn't put his body on the line when you're fighting for points and you're fighting for positions. The kid just hasn't got it.
Did you boo him?
No, I didn't boo him.
Okay. Did people around you boo him? Did anyone around you boo him?
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, there was loud boos all the way around us. But I tell you what it is, at full time whistle there was a lot of boos, and it's been a long time since there's been a lot of boos at full time. But what do you think about him playing Joe Linton on the wing?
Yeah, that was poor starting him on the left.
Voldemort in centre midfield and Anthony Gordon up front.
No, well then look, you're booing Anthony Gordon, and maybe you should be booing Eddie Howe.
Well, I'm a Eddie Howe guy anyway, so...
Yeah, well, that's the problem. You're all like Eddie Howe lovers, and I get it because he's done a good job there, but come on, the way he's setting your team up, you're a shambles.
We're a joke at the minute. We're boring, and we're not fun to watch. We're a mid-table team at the minute, and it's not exciting. There's no flair there. Something's not right.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good afternoon. You're listening to H&J with Shebahn and Alex Brooker here on talkSPORT. That was a weird one, wasn't it?
There wasn't a moment when we had two boxers come in that I thought we were going to talk so much about tomatoes.
Yeah.
But
At one point I was like, is this a dream?
yeah,
No, you're actually live on air.
no, it was good, very different. Good fun though.
Yeah, they were good crack, actually. Change of pace in the day. Coming up for you tonight over on talkSPORT 2. Don't forget, you've got Ipswich against Hull in the Championship. This should be a good one. Our man in the know, Ian Danter, is with us now. Dance, you're working at this one tonight. It's going to be a good one, hopefully.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm on my way there now, Shebahn. And both teams locked together on 60 points. And 6 behind Middlesbrough, who got that excellent win at my lot last night. But Ipswich, crucially, do have 2 games in hand on Middlesbrough, not the one that Hull have. So if Ipswich win their 2 games in hand, they will go into the automatic spot. So there's plenty at stake tonight.
I think it feels like there's a lot of pressure on Ipswich, isn't there, Ian, to keep winning, and because obviously with Coventry have picked up a bit of form as well recently, and obviously, yeah, like you say, Middlesbrough winning last night as well.
And Ipswich had a poor start to the season, Alex, really. You know, they didn't win in their first 4, having been relegated, and it all felt a bit eggy, felt a bit uneasy for Kieran McKenna, but boy, how they've picked up. So they've been steadily climbing the table and looking better and better. They've made some good acquisitions in the January transfer window. They've got players that they brought in on loan, like Ivan Azon, who they brought in from Cremonese, starting to score goals now. Or is it Como? Sorry, that he came in from Cesc Fabregas's team. Yeah. But anyway, they've got a squad that's got good strength in depth in various positions, and they've got some momentum behind them without question. But Hull City are a classic example where there's no particular superstars in that team, but the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, it seems to me. So what you've got tonight, effectively, guys, is the second best home form in Ipswich against the second best away form in Hull City in this division.
It's unbelievable what's happening there at the top of the table. I know we've said it so many times, but Wrexham sitting in 6th at the moment. Is it possible that they can do it again? But Coventry have been sensational this season, haven't they? Do you want to see Frank Lampard stay with them if they're to get promoted to the Premier League, which looks likely?
Oh, I think he'd want to stay. I can't imagine. I mean, it would take... You know, he's taken offers at times to go to clubs like Everton and Chelsea. So it's not like he hasn't had a taste of Premier League football before. Although I think he'd want assurances from Doug King that were Coventry to get promoted, that, you know, funds would be made available to strengthen what they have. But I watched them again on Saturday when they beat Stoke, and they just... Jack Rodoni's a fantastic... He will blossom Premier League level in my opinion. The way he glides over the pitch, he's such a good attacking midfielder, and he's got somebody brilliant to learn from in Lampard. I've no doubt they would need some strengthen in quite a few areas, Coventry, if promotion was to be achieved, automatic as it seems to be, or even through the playoffs. But Wrexham have surprised everybody, I think, just how well they've adapted. And, it's put my club's situation in a bit of perspective that, you know, Birmingham went up as the title winners with that massive points total, but Wrexham have adjusted slightly better to life in the Championship, and it's kudos to Phil Parkinson, who had a lot of critics about, we can't manage it Championship level. Oh, can't he? Well, he can.
I love him. I love that he's been able to do it. I love that even the club just stick by him as well.
He seems to have a job for life.
Yeah.
And at the other end of the table, I mean, Leicester in the relegation zone after getting beat by Norwich. I mean, just how disastrous has this season been? It's been terrible for them.
You can't believe, Alex, that you look at that squad and you look at the players within it and expect them to be where they are. Yes, there's the 6-point deduction that's kicked in that's not made it any easier for them. But Southampton are starting to readjust to life back in the Championship, but they've had a struggle. So all three teams that came down have not started well, and it's just persisted with Leicester, really. You've got Winks and Skip as vastly experienced holding midfielders who are just starting to come into a bit of form. I do like the appointment of Gary Rowett, Alex, I must say. I think, that he will speak to those players. If there's a bit of, a fractured nature to the squad and, they're not really getting on with one another, he's exactly the sort of manager that on a human level will get through to the players and relax them and make them feel a little less jittery about the situation that they're in. And I'll actually be watching Leicester on Saturday because I'm going back to Ipswich Saturday afternoon for our talkSPORT 2 commentary in between all our FA Cup ties. I will be at Ipswich for the game against Leicester. And that's just got huge ramifications at either end of the table, that match.
It has. Listen, Dance, next time I speak to you, you can't be in your car. Every time we've got you on, you're sitting in the car.
That's because I'm on my way.
It's your place.
It's a long way to Ipswich.
Your happy place.
Yeah.
Ian Danter, we love you very much. Thank you so much. Be good tonight. Ipswich Hull with Ian Danter and Darren Ambrose over on talkSPORT 2. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a cracker in the Championship coming up for you. We'll get into the Premier League and what's to come tonight with our voice of live football, Adrian Durham. You're listening to Hawksbee and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Tool Station, standing behind every single tradesperson of Britain. Next up, Stool Station.
Very different.
It's on the brain. Tool Station.
Simon, it'd be remiss of us not to mention this before we go today. Michael Carrick has earned 23 points in 9 Premier League games as Manchester United manager. Quite incredible. He's won 7 of them, drawn 2. It's the joint best start after 9 games by any manager in the competition's history, alongside Ange Postecoglou. Manchester United move up to 3rd in the process in the Premier League table for the first time since May 2023. It's one thing looking at that and thinking, yeah, brilliant. Is it too far to go to say Michael Carrick's now got to really be in the running for the permanent manager's job?
Well, yeah, I think he can be in the conversation. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. He should be in the conversation. He should be, they selected him to manage a team for 5 or 6 months. Then they can open their minds to whether he can manage a team in the bigger picture. Because it might well be that they've been a beneficiary of some serious luck, that they might have found a manager that can take them forward. The big difference between managing them in the interim, picking up someone else's slop, and then being able to be responsible for it in the longer term and build out a bigger future. Now, if you look at the results he's got, and there's some great results in there, certainly the Manchester United win over Man City and Arsenal are very commendable results. You look at the other results and you say to yourself, well, you kind of expect a Man United side to be in these games, winning these games. I would expect Man United to beat Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. I would expect Manchester United to potentially take some points off Everton, who can't score goals in their own stadium. I would expect them to have done better slightly against West Ham, but West Ham were slightly resurgent. I'd expect them to beat Tottenham, who are tepid at this moment in time. So in all of that, you have to get some context, but there are great results in there. If you beat Arsenal and you beat Man City, my thought process was, yeah, United go and get turned over at Fulham, but they didn't.
Good afternoon, you're listening to talkSPORT with H&J with Shebahn and Alex Brooker. Let's now get all of your sports news with Ben Fletcher.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan van range. Scoring a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan vans or head to your local Nissan van centre.
Good afternoon. Arne Slot's getting a bit of a leathering today for airing his views on corners. The Liverpool manager's football heart isn't a fan, despite his side's recent success from them. Well, talkSPORT's Simon Jordan admits he's not been particularly enamoured by Slot lately.
Oh, this season I'm not. Last year I thought, well done you. You came in, you had a very difficult challenge, and you were following somebody that had built up legendary status, had such a connection with Liverpool fans, and in you come, and it's going to be difficult for you. What he was very fortunate with is that other teams dropped off a little bit, and he inherited a very good squad and won the league. And we didn't hear any of this last year.
Liverpool go to bottom side Wolves tonight, while second bottom Burnley travel to Everton. Scott Parker's not a happy bunny either this afternoon, still smarting after that disallowed goal against Brentford.
For every goal that you score, you celebrate, and then it gets pulled back. For every fan that cheers and then gets pulled back, there's a scar that's left, which is disappointment, and so that's the main reason.
The Burnley boss says the length of time taken to reach decisions adds to that pain. Confirmation that Brazil and Real Madrid winger Rodrigo has ruptured his ACL and will require surgery. That means he'll miss the World Cup, which gets underway in 100 days' time, by the way. Finn Smith will start at fly half for England, one of 9 changes ahead of Saturday's Six Nations trip to Italy. Steve Borthwick selected an entirely new backline with Caden Murley, Seb Atkinson and Tom Roebuck among those to come in. And with a week to go till the Cheltenham Festival, Marine Nationale won't defend the Queen Mother Champion Chase. That's because of a neck problem. A reminder you can hear every race across the talkSPORT network.
talkSPORT News.
The Chancellor insists her economic plan is working, but the rapper Getz is jailed for killing a student in a hit and run. There's more from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With over 600 centres across the UK, most of which open 7 days a week, we're always there when you need us. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
Sunny spells for most of us this afternoon. The odd spot of drizzle in the south.
Good afternoon. You're listening to talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne Alex Brooker in for H&J. This afternoon, we've had a random little show, haven't we?
We've had a very random show.
I'll put you right on a train nicely up the road, never to come back to London again.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed it.
It has been fun.
Had a lovely time.
I know. Don't worry, the guys will be back with you as normal next week. We're building up to the Premier League football coming up for you tonight. 7:30 kickoffs, a number of them: Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton, Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland, all at 7:30, and then 8:15 Wolves take on Liverpool in the Premier Leagues. Don't forget, Adrian Durham, our voice of live football, will be with us a little bit later on to look ahead to the games. And then Brooker's Arsenal are playing tomorrow, where everyone will stop and give them their undivided attention and say they're brilliant.
Count
regardless.
every second they take.
We
on
really,
every set piece.
we really will. By the way, we've not even talked about Scottish football yet.
No.
Because you love it. You're a wee secret fan, aren't you?
I've been, my housemate at uni was a Rangers fan, so I've kind of.
Where were you at uni?
Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, when he used to come with me to watch all the Arsenal games on the Sky, and then we'd. I remember he took me to a pub to watch the Old Firm.
And how was that?
Well, what I would say about this pub is I was just thought, it would be the Rangers supporters club. That's where they'll all be, because it's Liverpool. It's obviously a big Catholic city. He's like, we can't just go into any pubs. It'll be a lot of Celtic fans. So he found us a pub, which I think was called the King Billy or something like that. And it was a very interesting pub, I would say, considering I couldn't understand why there were so many pictures of the Queen everywhere. But I was very fish out.
Do you understand it all now?
Oh, I understood it. I understood it within about 2 minutes. He stopped coming to watch the Arsenal with me, and I stopped going with him.
Oh, God. Yeah. Do you kind of wish you'd...
But it's a great title race in Scottish Premier League.
Oh, it's
this
unbelievable.
Year.
I mean, Hearts are 6 points clear. Don't get me wrong, Celtic will still have a game in hand.
I know. I watched Martin Compston, the actor. We went to Arsenal Man United earlier this year, and we watched the Hearts Celtic game together, and then Arsenal Man United.
He's a massive Celtic fan.
Yeah, that was a stressful day for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, I was just with Ali McCoy's there doing a Scottish football show before I come up here. He's still convinced Rangers will win the league. I'm still convinced Celtic will win the league. And we're with Ryan Stevenson, who played for Hearts, and he's convinced Hearts will win the league. And then there's chatter that Motherwell could still do it as well. So it's unbelievable, like unprecedented times up the road. But listen, we'll build up to the next Old Firm later on in the week. We're 100 days out from the 2026 World Cup. Ahead of the tournament this summer, comedian Matt Ford has been speaking to some footballing greats on how to win the World Cup. So here is Matt Ford on Breakfast this morning with Ali and Gabby talking about the podcast.
From my perspective, it's just amazing fun getting to sit opposite people like Emmanuel Petit and Stuart Pearce and Kleberson and ask them about playing football at that level. And David Seaman was on the other week and he was superb. And Brad Friedler, I know you know well, always talks so well. Getting to talk to people who've actually played in those tournaments and had such iconic moments is phenomenal. And I think the closer you get to the World Cup, obviously, for a lot of us, club football, until the season's over, you're not really thinking about it. But now that we're into March and it's starting to get closer, I think people are really starting to focus on it. And I think it's just the biggest deal on the planet, isn't it? Yeah. It's just the coolest thing, the World Cup. And obviously, every time I think we're going to win it, and in my life, I've never been right.
Matt Ford, you've done these shows.
Yeah, I've done a few with him. It's a great podcast. I love Fordy. But when he said then about sitting and talking to people that have done it. I mean, we did some with Stuart Pearce the other day, and just hearing Stuart Pearce just say anything. He honestly, that man could say any sentence and it would make you want to run through a brick wall for him. Just listening to him talk about the mentality in the dressing room and kind of and how, you know, when he took those penalties in Euro 96 and the pressure and stuff like that. I just found I'm very much up for it. I find it fascinating and it's been an exciting way to build up to the World Cup.
Like we say, 100 days to go. Wherever you get your podcasts or on the talkSPORT app, How to Win the World Cup. It's our very special build-up show with 100 days to go. And we were talking about this off air as well, Alex. I mean, this is our first time meeting today. Well, we've met before, but you can't remember it.
Yeah.
Aside from the football, even though in the past we've done all right against you.
Yeah.
Well,
done okay. Yeah.
Okay, we got a draw and won the Euros a few years ago.
Yeah. Okay, but all right.
Right.
So,
right.
But you've done okay. So where you go? What are you going to ask? Are you just going to ask again?
The
who's
conversation came up naturally. that aside from the football, Scotland might be better at everything else. We invented the telephone and all that. What have you done?
Well, we invented football, didn't we?
Did you?
I think we did. I think
You're just claiming that, to be honest. You invented rugby.
What's that? I think didn't we invent football as well? That's quite a good one, isn't it?
I doubt you did, to be honest.
This is the sort of factual content I bring to How to Win the World Cup.
Research.
It was
sports
birthplace of modern football, isn't it?
Food. Who's better, England or Scotland?
I think fish and chips is pretty. That
sums you right up, doesn't it?
Well, no, but I don't want to go into stereotypes because I don't know lots of Scottish cuisine. If I'm honest, I've always eaten all right up there.
You ever had a haggis?
No, I don't think I have.
Love it.
Is it? What is it?
It's really good. Cow's brains.
Oh, cool, nice one. Yeah, absolutely sold me. Absolutely fine. Yeah, I'd be fine. Of course. So yeah,
Really good for you.
Yeah.
Full of nutrition.
No, I've genuinely never. I don't think I've ever had it.
When we got married, we had this chicken wrapped in haggis.
Yeah.
And it was banging. It was so good.
Okay.
Haggis
Still
is
think
lovely.
fish and chips is better.
Yeah, okay.
I think fish and chips.
I'm going to go with the haggis.
Okay.
Okay. Better drinks. What have you got drinks-wise?
Tea, even though I don't drink it. When we had this chat before, my two that I come up with were tea and Carling.
To be fair.
Carling's awful.
Carling?
God, that was what they were like, name a British drink or an English drink, and I was like, I don't know, Carling, and then everyone was like, yeah, tea's obviously.
Tea's up there.
Yeah, tea's, yeah, but I've never really drank it, so I'm not a big fan of cups of tea. This whole thing that we're going through, this is going to give you a good insight. I'm one of the worst people you could have asked
You're
this.
barely English.
Because my cultural references are so far off. But it's like, so when I was thinking about when you said Scottish drinks, so you've got what? You've got Iron Brew.
Yeah. You ever had a can of Iron Brew?
Yeah, I like that. Buckfast. I had that. My mate used to bring that down when he'd go home to Glasgow. Now that you have a good old time. Can't have too much of that.
You're going to struggle to get that in the US, Mexico and Canada. By the way, you're fleeing when you have it. It's vile. For me, it's vile, but I can't drink it. Even the thought of it, I'm like, oh God, it brings back 18 years old, heading up the dance, and let's all have a bottle of Buckfast and see how far we can go. Music-wise?
Take that. I was thinking about pop. I was thinking about pop, because I'm quite into, as I was telling you about, going to see Backstreet Boys in Vegas. But this, I think, New World Order, because I thought as well, World Cup songs. I know, when you sometimes qualify, you like to do one, but I think this is one of the great World Cup songs. One of the great songs.
Really?
Yeah, I genuinely, I love it.
No disrespect, it's okay. But when you say
rapping,
England and music, this is what you're coming up with.
Well, no, but we were talking about 100 days to the World Cup, so this is...
synonymous with the World Cup.
You play this. When they play this, you can go anywhere, like one of the box parks or something like that. They play this when England just won. The gaff goes off. Yeah. Same as if they played Never Forget That, Take That in the club.
But I think we win it because of the Proclaimers.
That's an interesting...
You stick on 500 miles.
Yeah, again, no. Do you know what?
Anywhere in the world.
I'm not... When the game against Denmark, one of my favourite things that I saw was after Scotland scored, everyone's doing their nut, but in the background you can just hear the start of Proclaimers, and it is like the best. I will give it. It is the best music to hear in a moment of elation. Dun, da, 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 da. And everyone's just like gets them going even more.
And what's brilliant, Alex? Like on the train home later, Spotify the Proclaimers, because I don't think they get enough credit for how many tunes they've got.
Okay.
Like Sunshine on Leith.
I don't know. I only know that one. I'll be honest with you.
Unbelievable tune. Letters to America. Unbelievable tune. Okay. Life with You.
Oh, do you know what? On the way home, I've got a bit of time. I'm going to... What's this one?
A letter from America. I mean, the fact we're going to the World Cup and the Proclaimers are
that's a good shout. I probably won't be going through the old Spotify then on the way home.
Oh, just do it.
I thought they'd all be like big bangers like 500 miles, but it's just kind of a bit more...
You're now offending our people, Alex.
No.
Whenever you're quite ready to stop.
Yeah, I'll stop now.
I mean, if the Proclaimers were English, you'd be claiming them all day long, that's for sure. You listen to talkSPORT. Yes, 100 days to go. Don't forget you can listen to the podcast How to Win the World Cup on the talkSPORT app or wherever you get your podcasts, and start the build up now. You're listening to H&G on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
Your record at home is so bad.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem you've got with Spurs is there's a real toxic feeling throughout the football club. When you look at the top in terms of the ownership and the changing of some of the hierarchy there, Daniel Levy moving on, nothing has really changed, Ray. You know, the reality is with Tottenham that they talk like they want to be a big club, but they don't act like a big club. They don't want to pay the big club wages in general. Look, they've made a bit of a shift in terms of Conor Gallagher, for example. But, you know, you look at that January transfer window, that absolutely has killed us by not improving and investing into the squad. You know, we knew going into that window we were absolutely decimated by injuries, but the board chose not to give Thomas Frank any kind of opportunity to really fight and try and see if there's a way out of his current predicament when he was struggling. And Tudor's come into a battle where, quite honestly, at the moment, I'm really, really unsure whether we've made the right decision. But at the time, you know, he was a firefighter, but I think he's walked into Tottenham, and you've heard in there in the press conferences, I think he doesn't realise until he's got in there the actual mess the club are in. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if another couple of defeats, they may look to change him, because I'm worried that in his first 2 games, he's gone in on the players and absolutely buried them.
Yes, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they probably deserve being buried, but how is that productive in terms of trying to get results out of this group? I don't know, when you're already decimated by injuries and you've got 12 to 13 players fit to work with.
It's a little bit harsh having a go at him straight away when he's only been in having 2 games, Ricky, but I can understand it, because for me it was a kind of strange appointment. I'm still a little bit concerned at some of the body language from the Spurs players.
How are you getting on this afternoon? You're listening to H&J with Shebahn Aherne and Alex Brooker here on talkSPORT. And how does this sound? Oh, the better weather's got us thinking about the summer. We're getting plans in place, and we've got the chance for you to be at a VIP private suite for you and 11 of your friends. Have you got 11 friends, Alex?
I think I do.
You think? I'd struggle.
One's all right ones.
You're one
ones
of them.
Ones that I'd want to have with me in a VIP booth. I'm not sure there's that many I'd trust if it was my name on it.
Getting well chucked out early doors. You and 11 mates for a day at the cricket this summer. This is all thanks to Pitch Experiences. We're sending you there to a super box at the Oval for England versus Sri Lanka, the ODI in total luxury. Oh, you get fine dining, your own personal mixologist. So what's that drink you like? That Aperols? They'd have that on.
Just someone mixing it up for you.
I'd go for French martini if I were.
Would you? Oof.
Have you had one of those?
Yeah, they're strong.
Oh, give you a perm. Private balcony, Q&A with cricket legends on the day as well, while you watch all the action from England, Sri Lanka, ODI, total luxury this summer at the Oval. For your chance to win, text the word WIN, W-I-N, to 83338. Texts are £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call this number 0343 418 7260. I'll give you it again. 0343 418 7260. The lines close this Friday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you'll need to answer your phone if it rings for your chance to win. It's 18 plus, UK residents only. It's a TalkSPORT promotion with all of the terms and conditions as ever on our website at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338 now. Good luck to you. And we're building up to the game tonight. Leeds take on Sunderland in the Premier League. That's a 7:30 kickoff. Looking forward to that. All the Premier League action tonight on a kickoff here on talkSPORT with Adrian Durham. But Jay Boothroyd, former England striker, is going to be with us in just a wee moment. And by the way, so refreshing, Leeds and Sunderland this season coming up to the Premier League.
100%. I think for Leeds, they're far enough. I think they're 6 points out of the relegation zone, but I feel like they need just I think for the nerves, pick up a win tonight. I'd go some way. Yeah. Although looking at the other teams down there, I feel like I can't see any of them really putting together a big.
What about Spurs? Can you see them?
I can't see Spurs putting together a big run. No, but then I'm not sure about whether Forest or West Ham will as well.
It's funny because we've seen better performances from Forest than we've seen from Spurs all season.
Yeah.
I was speaking to a Spurs content creator the other day, and I meant it with respect. Do they actually think Spurs are a good side? I think the way they're playing, they're destined to be going down.
Yeah, the one thing I can't believe I'm on there. It's about to kind of defend Spurs a little bit. Is they do have a lot of players out. But the players that are there at the moment, that are like the players that they have in that squad, you would go that's too much to get drawn into a real relegation battle. But the ones that are playing, they are very much drawn into it, and they've got some really big games. They've got to start picking up some points.
They really do. Okay, let's speak now to Jay Boothroyd, former England striker, with us now. Jay, good afternoon. Thanks for coming on.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
How are you getting on? Are you on the way to the game?
Yep, I'm on the way up there now. Looking forward to it. It's a big game. Big game.
Massive game. I mean, we were just saying both sides coming up though. Let's start there. They've been so refreshing this season.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially Sunderland. I thought when Sunderland spent all that money and brought all those players in, I think it can go one of two ways. But thankfully, it's gone the right way for them, and especially Xhaka. I think Xhaka's been fantastic for Sunderland. He's like that manager on the pitch. He controls the tempo really well, but he's helping the young players bed themselves into Premier League football. So I think pretty much everyone they've brought in has been a success.
And for Leeds as well, Jay. I mean, they're 6 points clear of the relegation zone at the moment. But it feels like they probably ideally need a couple of more wins just to ease any remaining nerves.
Yeah, that's it. To be honest, I don't really fear for Leeds. No. I think at Ellen Road, I think they've really turned that into a fortress. I think at home it's difficult to beat them, really difficult to beat them, and that's why tonight's a massive game for them. But I think they've got some really good players. Obviously, Aronson, Calvert-Lewin scoring goals. But I feel like this time around, Farke has got them playing a much more pragmatic way. When he was in the Premier League before, it was very much you attack, we attack. Now they're more organised, they're more difficult to break down. They're scoring goals. Yes, they have been conceding goals, but I think it's their home form which is going to keep them in the Premier League.
And they put in a good performance on Saturday night against Manchester City, didn't they? I know they got beat, but they gave City a really good game.
I mean, if Calvert-Lewin scores that early chance, it could be a very, very difficult game. Then they got something to hold on to. But obviously, he missed that. He missed a few opportunities, to be honest. And I don't want to, pick players out and say it's their fault. But sometimes, when you're playing against someone like City, when them chances do come around, you need to take them. And that particular night, they didn't. But it was a great account of themselves they put in. They worked really hard. They caused Man City problems. And Man City were limited as well. So if they can put them kind of performances in between now and the end of the season, home and away, they're definitely going to be okay. But I think if they can get a win today, then I would say 95% safe. So that's why it's such a big game for them, but also for Sunderland as
We're
well.
losing you slightly there, Jay. We are, so hopefully we'll try and get you back a little bit later on. But if not, thank you so much, Jay, for your time. Heading up to Leeds, Sunderland, watching that one for us at talkSPORT at 7:30 tonight. Daniel Farker got a red card, obviously, at the end of that game against Man City.
Is he going to appeal that? There was talk that he was going to appeal it, and or now I think the latest was that he might just accept it. I'll be honest with you, it seems quite harsh, and he said that he didn't swear or anything like that. It seemed like they pulled out the red card quite quickly.
Yeah. We're seeing more of the managers, aren't we now?
Yeah, I know, but I sometimes feel like with referees, I don't know whether there's an element where there's so much scrutiny on them now, on the decisions, on the VAR, whether or not the ref just weren't having it for a second. But it did, well, just from watching on telly, it seemed like he didn't do a lot, I would feel.
Got a bit animated, but you're going, aren't you?
Well, yeah, you are, because they want to win. He felt, I think it was that there wasn't enough added on time, and then there was all the talk about whether or not it was a handball. And as an Arsenal fan, I think it was a stonewaller, but it is what it is. I was just when Jay was saying about Calvert-Lewin missing that chance early on. It was like he should be watching it as Arsenal fans. We were like the Leeds fans.
Yeah, this is true. That's very, very true. It should be a good game tonight. Leeds Sunderland, 7:30 updates for you tonight on kickoff. You're listening to talkSPORT. H&J, it's Shebahn and Alex with you until 4 o'clock, and then Drive is here with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. Coming up, we're going to hear from the voice of talkSPORT, the legend himself, Adrian Durham, is with us soon.
I've got a lot of time, a lot of respect for you, as much as I've got a lot of respect for Emmanuel Petit. But for you to say, it's either you've got your ears shut and your eyes shut, not to know that. I'll give you a perfect example. A lot of the fans have not explained it properly. Emmanuel Petit is bang on right, and so is Martin Keown. But Petit's probably not explained it right to use. But if you look at it right, even going back as far as Adrian Durham, when Arsenal, under Arsene Wenger, who was one of the greatest managers ever, who, I said this to you before, Simon, who had his arms tied behind his back at some stages, had to sell our best
Your own
players.
fans ate your manager at the end.
No. Simon, this is where you get it all wrong, mate.
Oh,
right?
oh they didn't then.
No, I'll tell you why you get it wrong. Arsenal are the biggest supported club in London, right?
Yep.
Behind Manchester United and Liverpool, they're one of the biggest supported clubs around the world. Man United and Liverpool have got the most, then it's Arsenal. It's a known fact.
Yep.
Social media and Arsenal fans on social media is what's caused all this poison. And you said it, Simon, right? You just said it earlier.
Yeah.
You said there ain't a thing against Arsenal, but the first thing you said was they think they've got to give them right, and they think this. No, Simon, we don't think we've got to give them right, because I've been going Arsenal 37 years. I've seen us win 5 league titles, right? I'm a good fan. I've been there through the thick and thin, yeah? When Arsenal was doing poor towards the end of Wenger's reign, how comes there was a daily Arsenal?
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend. Even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there actually any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads for a century. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. His Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this kind of protection was pretty important for footballers. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says they must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, even though there have been calls for it to be changed. But for now, that's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Good afternoon. You are listening to talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and Alex Brooker in for H&J this afternoon. A little bit of a twist to your day. Can I share my Fox story?
Yeah, I think you should. We've had a real roller coaster of chat on here today. We've had fears of ketchup. Now we've been chatting about a fox that was.
Well, so we've got a puppy, and he's only a cute little toy poodle. He's lovely, 12 weeks old, and I opened up the garden door, the back door yesterday for him to go out and have a wee sniff, hopefully do a wee before he comes back in and into his crate for bed. Now, where we live, you actually can't get into the back gardens. So behind the back gardens, there's a house, and then there's houses at either side. And of the 4 years that I've lived there, I've never seen a fox. So I picked up the dog last night, brought him in, shut the door. Seconds later, Alex, there's a fox staring through the kitchen window. And I was like, oh my God, took a picture of it. And I thought, he's trying to get to the dog. And then he was picking up the dog toys that were out in the garden and like, "Rrr."
Maybe he just wanted a little mate. Because I know you think that the fox was planning to eat your dog.
Well, that's all I could think about. What if he got his hands on the dog?
Maybe he just wanted just like someone to, who's like, oh, look all these toys out here. Just
Are they known to befriend dogs, foxes, or?
I don't know. Fox and a hound?
Oh yeah, that's so true. Classic.
There you go.
Oh yeah, maybe it was.
But I was saying, I
Maybe
mean,
he was
like
curious,
I say,
but-
my mum feeds the foxes round. Like, I rang her up a little while ago, just asked her how her day was, and she was like, I just cooked a fish pie. And I was like, you don't eat fish pie? And she went, no, it's not for me. You stepdad, it's for the foxes. And I was just like, I can't even deal with this chat at the moment, Mum. Yeah, she's just she feeds them, and like they'll be up in Huddersfield, like visiting us, and they'll be like, oh, do you remember? Mum will be like, Keith, do you remember to put the food out for the foxes? And she's got really bang into it. Yeah, she's like I say, with the kind of the story today that you heard about us watching the film It when we were younger, and this she sounds she's an interesting character.
I feel you're not painting her in the best light, if I'm being honest.
I mean, these are all true stories. So I mean, these are
Lucky
She's
foxes,
done some
though.
good work. She's done some good stuff as well. But
She's a good one.
but yeah, my brothers are great.
Right, back to the football tonight. You've got lots of Premier League action to look forward to. As ever, we've got you covered here on talkSPORT with our voice of live football, the legend Adrian Durham is with us now. Good afternoon, Adrian. Do you feed the foxes?
Shebahn, Alex, good afternoon. My wife does feed the foxes, but I can't believe you don't realise that dogs and foxes don't get on. Have you never heard of fox hunting? Dogs are involved in this.
Oh,
that's actually a very good point.
Yeah, but what about the fox and the hound? I mean, what was that about then?
Well, a hound is a dog.
Yeah, but
they were mates, weren't they?
Yeah, the fox and the hound were like a proper partnership.
They're a country pub, isn't it? Fox and Hound is a country pub name because fox hunting was a country pursuit.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Tell you what, though, Adrian, you come on, and I was fully expecting to be educated about the fixtures tonight, but you've also provided us some good, much-needed context to our
stories. So yeah, you do think the fox was trying to get his hands on my puppy, then? Yeah.
I think he was just trying to get the toys, and it sounds like he got them as well.
Yeah. Weird, though. Weird situation to be in. Let's actually focus then on the football, even though I will look up your fox and hound.
Can I just say something else as well? Not only do we feed the foxes at our place, we've actually adopted a real live blind hedgehog that lives in our garden that we look after. I'm not joking. This is serious.
What do they eat?
Well, they eat cat food, and you think I'm making this up as a guy. They've got to know where the cat food is. They've got to have their special little home in the garden, and so they've got to know where everything is because they're blind. So you have to set it up exactly right. I have to set it up so we've got a poodle as well. Our poodle can't get hold of the hedgehog because that'll hurt the dog. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy stuff going on in like suburban.
Yeah. Have you ever stood on a hedgehog? Like, oh, I didn't see you there. Ah.
Yeah, that will be quite painful. Yeah. But I'll try not to do that.
Yeah, the day gets weirder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does. We've taken something weird today.
We've gone where we've needed.
Yeah. Adrian, where do you want to start tonight? Shall we start with Bournemouth-Brentford? How do you see this one going?
Well, Bournemouth-Brentford is one of the 7:30 games. We're around the grounds tonight, by the way. And I'm based at Wolves-Liverpool, which is the 8:15 game. But Bournemouth-Brentford, I think it's a fascinating game because Brentford probably shouldn't have won at Burnley. Brentford's man of the match was VAR, as we all know. But an incredible game, off the back of which Arne Slot said Premier League football is boring. Yeah, well done, Arne. Bournemouth are 8 unbeaten, and their home record is pretty good. There's only Arsenal and Everton have won at the Vitality this season. So I think that's a really interesting game because Brentford are capable of going there and winning. Their away record is absolutely sensational. They won 7 of the last 8 away, all competitions. But Bournemouth's home record is good. So I think that's a fascinating one.
And we mentioned the game at the weekend with Brentford and Burnley, Adrian, and Burnley go to Everton tonight. I mean, like I know Scott Parker said in his press conference that he just wishes they'd do away with VAR. But I feel like as fans as well on Saturday, I think there was a bit of all of us that felt a bit like that when it took the result away from them.
Well, mate, I've never been in favour of VAR from long before it was being talked about. I just did not want it. I didn't think it would be this bad, I have to say, and I thought by now they would have perfected it. But you're right, Scott Parker said football's better without VAR. That's actually always been his opinion. It's not in the wake of what happened on Saturday. And he said something really interesting, okay? And I love your views on this, because I wonder if it applies to life in general. He said sometimes there's something nice about not being perfect. So I don't know what that's like. So
Me neither, to be fair. Alex, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm great apart from my memory when meeting people for the first time.
Adrian, I met him 4 times in the past, and
it's the impact you have, Shebahn.
It really is. It really is. No, I quite like that Scotty Parker had that to say as well. In terms of the other press conferences that went on today, then obviously, like you say, Arne Slot almost kind of sounded like he shot himself in the foot with what he said about Premier League not being so exciting. But Adrian, you're shaking your head. You've said this to me off air.
What's that?
That, you know, you can't love football when it's kind of boring and all set piecey and scoring from corners, etc.
Not true at all. That's not my view at all. In fact, I think Arne Slot is guilty of being a football hypocrite here, because he's taken on Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, the Red Arrows, who are very, very exciting to watch. He's turned them into an incredibly boring passing side, where he came out with a quote in his programme notes at the weekend saying, yeah, we're scoring fewer goals, but I value all the clean sheets. We're not conceding as many. So he's gone down that negative route. And then he comes out and says this. At the same time, his own team is scoring more set-piece goals. So I don't know where he's coming from on it. And actually, the set-piece thing, you can have a really exciting corner. I don't particularly like all the grappling, but you can have an exciting corner. A corner that doesn't beat the first man is an exciting corner. Free kicks. Didn't we marvel at David Beckham's free kicks? And all of a sudden, we don't like set pieces. I don't know.
So why is Arsenal getting called set piece FC? Why are they being made fun of for the way that they're scoring goals and going about possibly winning the league? And then he's not allowed to say that he doesn't think...
That's their sole identity. That they grapple at corners and they get physical. They're getting away with absolute murder. It's about time referees did something about it. I note that I don't want Arsenal to win the league. But what I would say is that I think that that's going to be their identity. And I think in time, Mikel Arteta will have this reputation of being the guy that won the title, because I think they will. He'll win the title with Arsenal doing it the set-piece way, whereas Jurgen Klopp won it with a brand of incredibly exciting football. Pep Guardiola won it with a brand of total football, adapted total football from the Dutch years ago. Arteta's going to win it by grappling at set pieces, and actually, I think he will regret the legacy. Yes, you can't take away a title win, and the Arsenal fans don't mind, but in terms of his coaching reputation and how he is remembered as a coach, this isn't great for him, I don't think.
But at the same time, Adrian, when Arsenal were all guns blazing 4 years ago, and they didn't see it through. They had a couple of injuries at the back. They didn't see it through. Everyone still calls us bottlers because of that now, even though that team at that time weren't even expected to be challenging for the league. And he's made them slightly more pragmatic, and he's kind of copped it. We were too open then. We were bottlers. We're too pragmatic and boring now. Sometimes I feel a little bit, with my slightly biased head on that. I just think you can't win. And also, isn't it an indictment of how the game's gone? More low blocks now. I've never seen Arsenal play as many teams that put men behind the ball. And I feel like sometimes we've got to try and score somehow. But we've struggled breaking teams down, and they've gone that way.
I just think Arne Slot's right. I mean, watching Arsenal win the league this way is not a joy to watch. That's what he said. It's not a joy to watch. We constantly turn on the sports bar and they're getting called set piece FC or Varsenal, whatever you want to call it. So what Arne Slot has said is not that bad. But because they're in the position that they're in and they're not running away with the league this season, it's almost as like he's been used as a negative or a backup or an excuse, which it probably is. But also at the same time, it's true. It's refreshing to hear a manager say that.
He spent a fortune on players last summer. And now it's whether they get into the top 5 or not. So I just don't think he should be commenting on it when he's made his own team more boring. And then he's pointing the finger at the team at the top of the table saying, well, you're boring. I don't enjoy watching you. I just think it's a load of rubbish. And I actually think the Liverpool fans, who were quite quiet, I was there on Saturday and they scored 5, 3 of them from set pieces. And it was mainly down to West Ham defending badly. I think that those Liverpool fans will be thinking, why is he going down this road? We want to be top of the league. I want to be top of the league playing the Klopp way, playing really good football.
Oh, Adrian, we've just lost you there. Maybe that was Arne Slot intercepting the feed there.
It was me cutting it off after he started having a go at Arsenal.
You back, Adrian? You back with us now? Is he there?
I'm
you
here.
You got him.
I'm here.
We lost you there for a second, Adrian, but yeah, you're not happy with him.
It's again for Liverpool.
Got censored, I think.
At the moment, again for Liverpool, it's a big game for them again tonight in the chase for the Champions League places.
Without doubt, at Wolves, and I was at Wolves on Friday night, and they were really good, beating Villa 2-0. All too little, too late for Rob Edwards. I think there's an element of over celebration with Rob Edwards. He had a lot of time. He came in the middle of November, but couldn't win a game for ages. Then won one against West Ham, then couldn't win again for ages. So I'm kind of calm it down a little bit, mate. You're kicking the advertising hoarding when you've scored a goal. Just calm it right down. You had time to save them and you didn't. So he's not exactly been a success.
Oh, wow. He has had his Weetabix and he's ready for the evening show. Adrian Durham on the fence as usual. Around the grounds back at 7 o'clock tonight after drive. We'll see you then, Ed.
Cheers.
Take care of yourself. Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton, Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland all kicking off at 7:30, and then 8:15 Wolves take on Liverpool. You've got Championship action over on talkSPORT 2 as well. Ipswich take on Hull. Okay, coming up for you next, we're going to do a little bit of a press conference run around and see what's been happening in the build up to the games tonight. You're listening to Hawksbee and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Stay one step ahead. Whatever the job, next stop, Toolstation.
Because I think out there this morning, many people listening on talkSPORT and watching live on YouTube would probably agree with Slot. This is what he said about Premier League games and maybe how they're no longer a joy to watch anymore.
If I watch other leagues, I don't think there's so much emphasis on set pieces. One of the reasons is, and that's sometimes funny for me to do, if I watch a Eredivisie game, which I still do, I see goals being disallowed or falls on goalkeepers being given. And I'm like, wow, that's a big difference. Here you can almost hit a goalkeeper in his face and the referee still says, just go on. Do I like it? My football heart doesn't like it. I already said once in this press conference, if you ask me, then thinking about football, I think about 10, 15 years ago about the Barcelona team. Every Sunday evening you were hoping that they would play. And now most of the games I see in the Premier League are not, for me, a joy to watch. But it's always interesting because it's so competitive. And that is what makes this league great, because there's so much competitiveness. Everyone can win from everyone. But just as someone who loves to watch football without being interested in who's winning or losing it, just to be enjoyed, I think there's a big difference now between 3 or 4 years ago in the Premier League.
So he's saying, if I watch other leagues, I don't think there's so much emphasis on set pieces. This has become a bit of a bore fest, the Premier League.
Not true, though, is
it should be noted, Liverpool scored from 3 corners in their 5-2 win over West Ham at Anfield on Saturday. What's he on about?
Paddy's Pick on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. Can you guess who's made the headlines this week? 18 plus, become aware.org.
Good afternoon. Thank you for listening to talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Alex Brooker with you in for H&J this afternoon. It's now time for this week's Paddy's Pick in association with our official betting partner, Paddy Power. In Paddy's Pick, I'm asking our Alex to identify a mystery sports personality who's made news headlines in recent past and is Paddy's Pick of the week. Alex, you'll get up to 5 clues to work out who it is.
So much tension.
Already the pressure is on.
Yeah.
We're going to start with 50 quid in the pot, and for every clue you use without a correct answer, boom, £10 is taken away. Paddy's Pick is all for the charity, and we're raising funds for the Duchenne UK charity. So if you're ready, let's play this week's Paddy's Pick. All right, you ready for clue number 1?
Okay.
This week's Paddy's Pick is an Irish Six Nations star who just had a great game versus England.
Oh.
Could have been a number of them.
Oh, gosh, I've got absolutely no. I'm not great on rugby union. Oh, this is so much tension. Yeah, I've got no...
Do you know any of the Irish rugby players?
No. Not a single one of them. Every other time I've done this, it's been about football.
All right, maybe another clue will give it away. He stands at 6'3". He's unusually tall for his position as a hooker. You know, hooker is a rugby position.
Yeah, I know. That's a rugby position. I don't know.
You need to crack on with clue number 3 then.
This is awful.
You'll never know this. His childhood hero was Jonah Lomu, who he met when he was 5 and changed his hairstyle to match the All Blacks legend. It means that literally we're throwing corned beef up a close.
Can I just give the money on the behalf that I've not won? And just pay. Like, I'm happy to donate the money.
Do you know, I'm going to go through all these clues.
Can we just do one, a football one?
Embarrass you, and then we'll make you pay the money.
Yeah, I will do.
In 2025, he was selected for the British and Irish Lions tour to Australia, started all 3 tests and helped the Lions to a famous series win. If you're a big rugby fan, you'll be screaming at the radio.
I know, I'm so sorry to everyone.
And he's the most prolific try scorer among forwards in the history of the Six Nations. You'll know the name when I say it.
God.
You'll be kicking yourself. Dan Sheehan.
Sorry, everyone. I feel this has really finished the show on a real low for me. You know, we've not got long left, and like I say, these are normally about football when I've done it before.
Well, we've got a very special guest coming into the studio now.
Oh.
Dan Sheehan's with us. You remember him now, won't you?
That'll be less awkward.
He's Paddy's Pick of the week for helping his team to a record 42-21 win at Twickenham with a 100% line-out success rate. Dan Sheehan, remember the name?
Dan Sheehan.
He's apparently a massive Alex Brooker fan.
Massive Alex Brooker fan.
He thinks you're
but wasn't that like the other weekend as well?
Yeah.
Wasn't even the weekend just gone?
Yeah, but he's Dan Sheehan, man.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I will 100% donate the money.
Okay. So we didn't raise anything there. Oh, but you will donate the money.
Yeah, 100%.
No, you should feel bad.
I do feel bad. I feel terrible. I feel embarrassed.
It's a disgrace. That's £0 raised for the Duchenne UK this week. But because he was so bad at it, we're going to double his donation as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll do that. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power, efficient H&J betting partner, 18 plus only. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy's Pick on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. Can you guess who's made the headlines this week? 18 plus, becomeware.org.
We don't choose it. Paddy Power gives us this.
Yeah, I understand.
Take it up. Take it up with
I'm not having complaints. I'm thoroughly embarrassed, and I apologise.
Some way to end a good show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. Okay. Should just done more ketchup chat.
Or another bonkers story about your mum. Right, let's rattle into some of these press conferences, shall we, today. Pep Guardiola, manager of Manchester City, spoke about his side's forward-looking mentality in anticipation of their game against Nottingham Forest.
Listen, the privilege to be in a March that always I believe in here winter time finish, especially winter time in February. February is over. Knowing that 10 games left, finally next Saturday against Newcastle, the 2 games against Madrid is you win, you will continue, you don't win, holidays. So in that competition. So it's good to be here. I prepared the game for tomorrow. It's only I'm concerned about about that.
Yeah, at the Etihad tomorrow night, Alex.
Yeah.
I mean,
I fancy City there very much, wouldn't you?
You fancy?
Yeah, 100%. I'll be holding out.
However, you are wearing your Forest top for that game.
Oh well,
of course,
yeah.
Before hosting Sunderland, Daniel Farke offered his views on the opponent Leeds United will face.
They are very, very dangerous on the counter-attacks. We have to make sure that in the moment, once we lose the ball, we have a good organization on to control all the counters. So they have strength in terms of set pieces and also pace in the game. So we have to control all of this. And on the other hand, it's not easy to open them and to create chance against them because it's a really, really compact side. And for that, we need to find good processes and possession in order to create chances. And this is all what we have to do in order to be successful.
Daniel Farke there on the edge of tears.
Yeah, bless him. I still think that's harsh.
Yeah. 7:30 tonight. Leeds take on Sunderland. Don't forget all of the action from the Premier League as Adrian Durham goes around the grounds tonight, live here on talkSPORT. Alex, it's been fun.
It's been lovely.
I'm not sure if we'll get another go again, but
I've enjoyed it. I've had a really, really good time. Apart from the little bit at the end, but apart from that.
And then when I insulted you at the start of the show.
No, I think that's fine. I don't take it as an insult.
Yeah.
I feel bad for when you'd said that we'd met like 4 times before.
Yeah.
It will haunt me. And I apologise. But we have had a great time.
It's been
Thank
good
you very
fun.
much.
Thank you to you for listening at home or wherever you are today. Stay with us. Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent is on the way next.
I've got some sad news in the Cundy household, mate.
Go on, what's happened?
So the lucky Mr. C took our little dog out, Crumble, his little small bichon. Took him
Crumble.
out. His name's Crumble. Took him out for a walk on
Bit like Chelsea.
Saturday morning, and he's running around like you're happy as a And all of a sudden, she noticed that Crumble's having a bit of a limp up. He looks like he's
crumbling.
He wants to come off. He's giving one of them with his front paws.
Yeah. Well, he's limping about.
He's limping about, mate. And so she brings him home, and I don't know what's wrong with him. She took him to the vets yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Done a cruciate.
What?
Crumble's done a cruciate. Right? Seriously, right? He's out for the rest of the season, poor little thing. He's out for the rest of the season.
Crumble's crumbled.
Crumble's crumbled, mate. Well, it's not a proper Cundy dog unless you have a problem with your leg.
I mean,
right? It's come out.
Sums your household up.
It sums up the Cundys,
You
mate.
got no knees in you and no knees